Please hold.
Okay.
Your mic's moving.
Now it's moving. So we just talked for no reason for a minute. And y'all...
Were they like, they could do
if you were good at reading lips, you could have made out what we were saying. Otherwise...
Or they could have done the lip reading thing that they do at the NFL now, where they make their own, or Mystery Science Theater. You could have just made your own.
So, and that's never happened. I don't know why. For some reason, my settings got changed to default instead of my mic.
I don't know. We were talking about the intro music.
Yeah, because we were jamming to the intro music. Which is powerful and energetic hard rock, a royalty-free song that some independent guy made, and I paid him $8 for it so that I can use it without getting sued by some big record label.
And one of my employees offered to make us our own custom-made ReddMetal podcast intro song.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Very
so
true.
hopefully we'll be able to work together and do that soon. That'll be fun.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, he said he got a bass and a guitar, and he does all of the music production himself. So if he's able to do that, we'll share his SoundCloud as well on our podcast. So I'm not saying anything because I'm not the host of the show today.
That's right.
Were you waiting for me?
She's the co-host.
Were you waiting for me to say
forget.
It's CraZy Talk with ReddMetal?
It's CraZy Talk with Metal Red.
Yeah, it's CraZy Talk with Metal Red today.
Instead.
That's true.
So generally she does all the work and all the research and all the slides, and I don't do nothing but play video games all week.
But I'm actually really red, fully red from being at the... We did this week, or yesterday at the Scarborough Renaissance Festival, and to which I got red, and then the weekend before that,
we were camping. We
were camping at Garner State Park in Texas in Uvalde. I think it's in Uvalde County. Wow, what a beautiful state park. Wow.
It's very cool.
Wow.
Very cool park.
Wow, we will be back. But I got my extra red on. I'm peeling from the one time, and then now I'm got red again. So I'll be double
so we've
peeling.
been away 3 weeks.
Yep.
This is week 4 because we had Scarborough Fair, and we couldn't make it back in time to do the podcast, so we had to cancel it. Mm-hmm. And then we had to camp. We were camping the next weekend, and then we did
Garner State Park, and then we did Mother's Day.
Then it was Mother's Day, and we didn't want to do a podcast on Mother's Day. We did
Garner State Park, and then we did Mother's Day.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So we also didn't want to do a show on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So, and I promised her I would take care of a show, so I did. It's probably going to be a shit show.
How was that? How was that taking care of all the...
It was a lot of work. I don't give her enough credit for all this.
Taking care of business every day.
But it's probably going to be a shit show. Probably going to be all over the place.
That's your specialty.
She does a really good job at putting the notes on her phone, and she keeps them here. She can glance down. It's kind of like reading a teleprompter, where my notes are over here, so you're going to keep seeing me look to the right.
He has a tick.
I'll try not to.
He has a tick.
I try to memorize my notes, but I know that's not going to work. But
memorize your notes for you. That might be a bit much.
Tried to read them 2 or 3 times so I could be like, that way I can just look and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I could just remember, recite, if I just look over. But I have a feeling I'll be looking at the screen a lot to get notes.
I did a crazy face mask before our show. And it, remember you said that it looked like my face was peeling, melting?
No, it looked like you were a wax figure melting.
So now I've got my face feels mega oily and just gooey and so I keep wanting to just wipe my face. It's just gross. I know it's supposed to tighten and firm so that I look younger. That was the goal of the face mask, was to tighten and firm so I look younger. And that's where you're supposed to say, oh, you look so much younger.
Oh, yes.
Right?
You look so much younger.
Yeah.
I knew there was something different about you. I could not put my finger on it.
It was that face mask.
But now I can.
Okay, enough. I'm trying to buy you time so you could kick off your hosting because you're slagging.
Yeah.
Sclagging.
I was getting a little behind, but that's okay because welcome to episode 18 of CraZy Talk ReddMetal. We're going to talk about terrible toys. How's that?
That's good. Was that your impression of me?
No, that was my own impression.
Oh, I thought you were going to try to do
terrible toys.
I thought you were going to do an impression of me, and then I was like, no, that's not good. That doesn't sound anything like me.
Terrible toys.
Terrible toys.
Now, just to be clear about my topic, after doing some research, these aren't necessarily bad idea toys. So most of them are. And they're not necessarily toys that got banned or recalled. Most of them did. But some of them not. They were just maybe bad ideas that still exist or whatever. So they're just terrible toys in general.
So you took liberties with the topic, as do I. Mm-hmm. So now you've...
Well, no, I just wanted... It is called Terrible Toys. And I just wanted to explain that they are, in my opinion, terrible.
And they're toys.
Or in someone else's opinion, but I find maybe it's not so terrible. But I could see where other people would find it terrible.
Okay. Okay, so we've got that. Wait, one of our children came in. Bye. Are you leaving?
Are you looking for something?
Oh, I don't have it, hon. Okay, so they're terrible, and at the very least, they're a toy.
They are a toy.
Okay.
Well, some of them aren't even technically toys. But kids played with them because they thought they were toys.
Okay, and just to be clear, I don't know any of these. We've not talked about any of these, right? So this is all news, right? All news to me.
Right.
Okay, so housekeeping or what?
I want that picture to go away.
Well,
not the picture. It had the little air serve thing around it. So there's my housekeeping picture because I needed a sexy chick. And you stole
it because it's got like a little
watermark. But nobody can see that from here.
Like a watermark.
But no one can see that from here. It's big screen here.
So you paid $8 for the intro song, but you just stole someone's picture.
Shh.
Okay.
I didn't know I stole it. So you just pointed out. So
housekeeping. Okay.
Housekeeping.
Is that the kind of housekeeper you want? Is this like a dream?
That's a very nice housekeeper.
Is this like your dream girl?
Mm-mm. No. My dream girl is you.
Aww.
But she would be like second in line.
After Angelina Jolie, before Angelina Jolie?
Well, she looks a lot kind of like an Angelina Jolie, right?
Oh, it's because of them lips.
Them lips.
Them lips.
Yeah, them lips. Mm-hmm. So housekeeping, I was still kind of leaving to you.
No.
Because housekeeping is where you talk about the next episode, right? What do we do for housekeeping?
Huh?
What do we do for housekeeping? I just got a good housekeeping
the PSA.
picture. No, I got that next.
Okay, so housekeeping. Follow us on YouTube, where you can watch all old episodes. Follow us on Twitch, where you can chat with us live and get notifications. And you can also, what's it called when you do something on Twitch where you subscribe? You can subscribe for free with Amazon Prime if you have it.
Okay, that's what housekeeping is. I couldn't remember what it was. I just remember we do it and we put like a sexy picture and write housekeeping. So I just found a new sexy picture for housekeeping.
And then we talk about what episode 19 will be next week.
Yeah, and then you do it again at the end.
Yeah.
What's episode 19 next week?
Interesting Inventions.
Interesting Inventions will be next week.
Yep.
And she's doing that one.
Back to Red.
Thank goodness. Woo, I'm done with this for a minute. All right, so my PSA is don't rage quit.
Oh yeah, you don't like rage quitting.
I hate rage quitting.
Yeah.
So don't rage quit. I know it's a dumb PSA, but I thought it would be fun.
So for people that don't know,
what rage quit is, it's when you're in the middle of a video game and it goes poorly in your favor. Mostly because your opponent did better than you, not because like your internet went out or something. So you got beat, you're a bad sport, and you rage quit a game. Yeah. That means I'm enraged and I quit. This guy is going to slam his chair into his... Which TV. People do crazy shit. They take their keyboard and break it, and it's... Okay, so if you break your own shit, I don't care about that. But I'm playing a game also. And when you rage quit... Now, I don't get to enjoy that game I was playing anymore.
Well, that's the equivalent of when people used to get pissed off at Monopoly and tip the table.
Yes, rage quitting is the video game version of table tipping.
Yeah, and it's like, tip the table,
now you just fucked up the game for 3 other people.
Everybody else was playing too.
Yeah, so...
big whiner?
Like, I was enjoying my game, but you rage quit, and now I'm just in a lobby by myself, and this sucks. So don't rage quit. Remember, there's other human beings on the other end...
That are also playing,
and they're trying to enjoy themselves as well.
Yeah. Did you have that happen to you or something?
It happens all the fucking time, but
yeah,
it happened to happen the day I was doing it. Oh no, recently, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, but okay. So we're gonna get right into it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they sell those at the mall still, don't they?
I'm pretty sure they don't. Those aren't Dippin' Dots. Those are Aqua Dots.
They look.
Dippin' Dots is ice cream.
Yeah, Dippin' Dots is ice cream.
This is not ice cream. This is Aqua Dots.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Well, actually, no. He'll figure it out. I don't care anymore. They were also known as Benzies or Betos. Other key, dude. I haven't used that car all weekend. So nothing's going to be in that car. The other key's hanging downstairs.
Well, I mean, I can't leave without my wallet.
Here.
It has my ID that I need to drive.
Okay. They were a children's toy in the early 2000s. It was a machine with a lot of dots. I thought we had them here, but we didn't.
No.
We had those other ones that were the little... Remember you would put them in the little things and you would heat them and they would do the shape. What were they called?
I don't remember.
Remember we had a little...
Yeah, and you iron them and they melt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's similar to that, but this was before this. It was a machine, and basically you would make things out of them. You would make shapes, make whatever.
Right.
The problem with these was when you ate them, which kids do.
Are you supposed to eat these?
You're not supposed to, but they are non-toxic, supposedly. Okay. All toys are non-toxic.
But what were they for?
They are little bitty tiny beads.
I'm sorry, I got very
distracted. I know you got distracted. So I was trying to explain to you, remember the little trays we used to have where you would put the little thing...
and you'd make a design and you'd melt it. And I don't remember what
this was before that. This was beads instead. And there was a little straw and you would pick the beads up and you would drop them into a design.
But did you like suck it up with a straw?
No. There was no reason for them to ever enter your mouth.
Okay.
So you would make a design with them, and then they would fuse together, and you would then have a final product.
Just like what we do, but without an iron.
Correct. Okay. You just created designs with them. But it was discovered in Australia first that, because what happens with all toys? They end up in children's mouth.
Oh, okay.
Especially if you have small children. So small children would just start eating these things. Which is why they
probably look like candy.
Which is why they make things non-toxic.
They look like candy.
However, when the digestive system broke these down, it turned into GHB.
So kids were getting drugged?
That's the date rape drug.
Yeah. Isn't that a tranquilizer?
Yes. So kids were ingesting these and getting very sick.
And getting raped?
They never got raped on anything I saw, but it was just like someone gave them the date rape drug.
Oh, that's not good.
For the most part, it was a milder version of them, but it did cause like some seizures, some hospitalizations.
Ooh.
And they were pulled from the shelf. I think that, if I remember correctly, they did restructure it and remake the stuff, and they ended up re-releasing it. But yeah.
So as the one member of this podcast who's actually been drugged with GHB, that's not cool.
Well, what happened was
that was one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me in my life. I can't even imagine being a child
and having those same symptoms, basically.
I mean, I've told you about it. It was absolutely horrifying to be drugged with that, to not know what was going on, to not be able to basically lose control of your function of your body, but be awake and coherent.
Now, from what I understand, from the information I read, it was like taking a date rape drug and taking an eighth of it. So you weren't getting as bad as you were. So you'd just be lethargic. Yes.
You'd be very lethargic.
But they were getting sick. They were vomiting. In several cases, they were having seizures. Several cases, they were being sent to the hospital, and they were being hospitalized. The original product didn't have that problem, but when they started mass producing it, they started using a cheaper product to make it more affordable.
Gotcha.
And that's when they came into those problems, because they didn't end up testing it.
Weird.
But yeah, those would break down.
So it's buffering on Raina's end. We're not having any issues.
She said that a long time ago. Hopefully it's working now.
We're not having any issues here, but it could be on your end, and it could clear up, and I'm very sorry. I don't know. I'm not showing any issues on our end, so we'll keep going unless somebody else says that they're having issues. Okay?
So keep on going for me?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Do you remember Buckyballs?
Were those just
They were tiny, tiny, tiny magnetic balls.
I don't remember them being called Buckyballs. I remember them being magnetic balls.
There was
magnetic balls.
Buckyballs.
But they weren't tiny, tiny. They were the size of a BB, weren't they?
Well, that's pretty tiny.
Yeah, okay.
But they were magnetic, and the tricky thing with these is they were never, ever, ever, ever marketed as a children's toy.
What was it for your desk? What's that for?
Yeah, it was a desk toy. It was a paperweight. It was market it as a way to relieve stress at the office.
But then they remarketed some that were called just magnetic whatever, and they were a little bit little.
7 million other companies made these same things after Buckyballs.
Okay.
Buckyballs, basically, there was like a fair in New York City where these were introduced. And a lot of people bought them at the fair and brought them home. But unfortunately, kids want to play with that.
I never knew that's what that was called.
And I didn't really know this, but it makes sense. But when you ingest small magnets...
Yeah, that's not good.
They stick together.
Yeah.
And you can have one go through like an intestinal tract this way, and then one come down this way, and now they stick together, and it ties your intestinal tracts together.
Yeah.
And it causes a lot of issues.
Yes.
A lot of issues.
And you can't always poop them out.
They couldn't poop them out.
Yeah.
That was the problem because they were being stuck between the different linings.
Yeah.
This is a picture. You see the circle that's drawn there? That's not a circle that's drawn. That's literally Buckyballs connected together in this person.
Shut the hell up!
This was I think, a 6-year-old kid.
What is it in? Like what?
It's just
stomach?
Stuck within his stomach, and they're stuck like that.
Oh my god.
That was an X-ray of that. So that's the kind of thing they were going. That was him trying to poop them out, and they wouldn't come. So there were... And the product launched in 2009.
Literally.
Soon after, reports of children invested in them began to flood in. The Consumer Product Safety Commission estimated that 1,700 children visited the ER because of Buckyballs. 1,700 children after the release of them, after swallowing the powerful
But,
magnets.
I mean, what do? Do you just stop making a product because people...
To this day, they still make it.
Yeah.
Buckyballs do not. They quit. They canceled but a lot of people are making the knockoffs still. And
the kids just stop eating them?
There has actually been commissions where people are still to this day trying to ban them, but the manufacturers keep finding ways to get around them. Most of the manufacturers from other countries, they have different laws and they're shipping them in.
Yeah, because but they've already banned... What's the little ball, the chocolate ball things that the kids always
We'll get to those in a minute.
Oh, okay. So,
you're doing to me what I do to you.
Oh, now you know how it feels. Okay. But the reason why is I thought about the fact that we're
Buckyballs is no longer business. They haven't been in business for a while. They, I think, actually quit after about 4 years. But there's a lot of knockoffs that are still sold. You can go to Amazon and buy some right now. They supposedly have all these restrictions now. They have labels that say, not for children, keep away from children, not safe for children, this is not a toy, but that still does not stop children from taking them and putting them in their mouth. Because kids put shit in their mouth. So that's that. But that's all I have for Buckyballs. But you know this one. Because this one was a very infamous one.
We had those growing up.
We had those as well. Lawn darts.
Jarts. Weren't they jarts? They were.
The main... Yeah, she's right. Kids can't read labels, so they don't know. It's the parents' responsibility to keep them away.
So
the name brand of those were called Jarts. That was the most famous one. But lawn darts were made by a lot of different companies. They were eventually banned. You can still buy lawn darts today, but they're not pointy.
They're weighted. We had
these
weighted
things
ones.
were pointy. These things have points on them. You threw them in the air, and they came down. And it was like playing horseshoes.
Yeah.
Or washers or something like that. But with a big sharp dart that you threw up in the air. They were heavy metal darts with a rather sharp point at the end.
Yep, we had them. I mean, I don't remember it being sharp, though.
Oh, yeah. They were. Well, then you didn't have the right ones.
Oh, we had
You didn't
them.
have the banned ones. They had
the...
You know a dart you throw at a dartboard?
We had that brand.
You know a dart you throw at the dartboard?
Yeah.
They were exactly like that, but large.
Well, we had jarts. I don't remember.
I think jarts continued to make the safe ones, too, where they made the ball at the end.
I don't remember.
The weighted ball where they would come down and stay.
Ours stuck in the ground.
No, they had big old points on them.
You had to go, pull them up out of the ground.
But before they were banned, there were over 61 reported injuries from jarts or lawn darts in the U.S. alone. Before they were ever banned, over 6,100 reported injuries.
Wow.
In April of 1987, a 7-year-old girl named Michelle Snow was killed when she was hit by a stray lawn dart. Her father started to lobby to ban the darts. Okay?
She got killed by it hitting her in the head?
This was after 6,100 reports. They still weren't banned.
Well, not deaths.
There was not a death until this person. She got hit in the head, and she was killed by a
But I mean, technically,
lawn
you can be killed by anything.
You could, but he did start a ban in a fear that it was only a matter of time before it would happen again. It didn't get banned still. But he wasn't wrong, because a year later, an 11-year-old girl fell into a coma after one landed on her head.
Well, C.J. Morgan says you're not cool unless you get cut from a lawn dart.
I don't remember them cutting.
I remember...
They stabbed.
I remember getting hit in the foot with one.
Yeah.
Oh, that might have been a real dart.
You did get a real dart in the foot.
I did get a real dart to the foot.
Yeah.
That's my own fault, because I don't know how to play darts. I'm very, very bad at darts.
A year later, the Tennessee girl that went into a coma from getting hit in the head did survive, but it was enough for him to succeed in lobbying the ban, which happened in 1988. So they do make lawn darts still, but they do not have sharp points on them. They have a weighted ball on the end, so that when you throw them up, they come down.
Yeah, we had those.
And you still are aiming for the circle?
Yes. Sorry, your son can't find his keys. Find his wallet.
I'm ignoring him.
Well, he's having an upset thing that involves throwing fruit in our downstairs.
All right.
He's literally down there throwing apples.
All right.
So it's hard to concentrate. I apologize.
Lawn darts, people. So, I'm going to talk about Barbie. But just so everyone knows, this is not the first time I'm going to talk about Barbie.
Not the first time, or it is the first time?
No. I mean, this is the first time, but this will not be the last time that I talk about Barbie.
Okay.
So, this one was from 1991, and it was Rollerblade Barbie. Which
I've never even heard of that.
I don't think it stayed long on the market, but if you remember, rollerblading got really big in the late 80s and early 90s. So why would Mattel not release a Barbie with rollerblades? The problem with the rollerblade Barbie was her skates flashed with harmless LED lights, but they had a cigarette lighter flint on the bottom. So that sparks would shoot off when you put them across a flat surface. Now, I did a lot of research, and all I could find was a lot of complaints from parents.
There's chaos in our house right now. I'm sorry. Things are being thrown and broken, so that's not cool. I'm very sorry. I'm not paying attention. Go ahead.
All right, so the cigarette lighter flint on the bottom of these rollerblades, there was a couple reports of fires being started with them.
What? Like on a field, dry field.
They didn't seem legitimate. It mostly seemed like a bunch of parents were complaining because of potential dangers.
Have they never actually tried to start a fire with a flint? It's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. You can't just on the TV and then a flame. It's harder than that. I can't imagine starting a fire with Barbie's.
Well, supposedly, if you took her and rolled her, or Ken, or any of her friends, because there was a line of them, if you rolled her, it wasn't a spark. It was literally a trail of sparks that would follow her.
It's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. I can see where the sparks could ignite something, maybe, but for the most part, it would seem harmless. Because what I was thinking is, I seem to remember, and I couldn't find this anywhere, because after I read the Rollerblade Barbie, I remember a toy I had, and so I tried to look it up. I could find nothing about it, but I had a little car that looked kind of like a Hot Wheels car, and you would put a pull cord through it, and you would yank the pull cord out, and it would spin the wheels really fast, and you would sit it down, and it would run. But I had one in particular that had these two fake tailpipes in the back, and it would shoot sparks out the whole time. I don't remember that ever being banned, and we never caught anything on fire. But nonetheless,
Maybe nobody was complaining.
Yeah, nonetheless, this thing, Mattel did pull it after less than a year.
Did you take my car to Dunkin' Donuts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was on the market for about a year or so, and they did pull it because they had a lot of complaints.
But I think it's
But I think the complaints were all about potential dangers.
Well, that's what parents are around for, right? To be like, oh no.
So nothing actually ever happened that I could find documentation.
Where do you draw the line? Because a magnifying glass setting ants on fire. Do we not sell magnifying glasses anymore?
Well, yeah, but magnifying, you're using it for a purpose it's not designed for. With this, you're doing what it's designed to do, and it might catch fires or something. Anyways, that's why I said disclaimer at the beginning. These aren't all toys that I would necessarily ban, because I don't, like, if my kid came home with this toy, I probably would not think, oh my god, that's dangerous, that's going to start a fire. But enough parents thought that Mattel removed the product.
Yeah, I would be one. I'm one of those, like, what if parents. You're a dad. Dads probably aren't like, oh, that looks dangerous. Dads are like, cool. And moms are like, that's not good. You know, the moms tend to be the ones that
we're more worried about, holy shit, that started a fire. Not holy shit, that might start a fire.
Yeah.
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 But, so that's the only one, really, that was kind of... But that's not the first time Barbie's going to make the list, just so you know. Barbie's going to show up. Or at least some of Barbie's friends will show up.
Well,
Barbie shows up as well, I think.
I think because she's been around a really long time. It'd be weird if you didn't have a lot of them. Right?
Did you ever know about these? Now, I remember seeing a video that was viral where this one girl had one for Christmas, and it went up, and then it went directly over, and then went straight down the fireplace and burned.
No, I never
I remember seeing that video. It was funny. I didn't realize that was a sky dancer, but it was indeed a sky dancer.
Yes, I've heard of them. Yes, I've seen video of them. I didn't know anything bad about them.
Well, they were a little doll, about just a few inches tall, maybe about 4 inches tall.
Yeah.
And they had wings because they look like fairies. Mm-hmm. I wrote dragonflies there because a little bit later, they released one that was marketed for boys that was called dragonflies.
Oh, okay. Because you gotta have a masculine and feminine version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So sky dancers were little fairies.
Okay.
They went on a platform, and you would, I think it was ripcord, but you would pull the ripcord, and the sky fairy would start spinning really fast, and she would launch and fly. The problem that it was having, it was from a cord, and then they would gracefully float back down to Earth, right?
Okay.
But unfortunately, it didn't always work out that way. It resulted in over 100 injuries to the eyes, teeth, and facial injuries.
Why?
Within just the first few months of being released.
From its wings?
Or because people stand above it and pull the cord, because kids don't know any better, and it would launch directly into their face.
You know, speaking of something that has nothing to do with that, like, I'm gonna be you. Okay. I'm gonna be you for this episode, okay? For this episode, I'm gonna just go off on a tangent. I'm metal, and this is red. I saw a thing on social media today of a lady that had a skewer through her eye because her friends thought it would be funny to push her face into her birthday cake, and the baker had put two. The baker had put two
to hold like platforms and stuff together or whatever,
and it went into her eye.
Oh, holy cow.
So it said, like, PSA, don't
shove faces into birthday
cake.
Don't just shove especially nowadays, because, like, bakers are trying to do all kind of crazy, crafty things, and they can't get them cakes to stay together on their own.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, my God. And it literally showed it sticking out of, like, her eye right here. And I'm like, holy shit, I'd never thought about that. Now, I've never shoved anybody's face into a cake unless it's been a piece of wedding cake or a child's, like, birthday.
Right. I could see, like, a piece of cake. Like, you cut a piece of cake, and then you're like trying to feed it to somebody, and then you shove it in their face, right?
Yay,
but the whole cake, not only that, but if it was an actual nicely built cake that it actually had to have skewers and stuff, why would you ruin it by shoving somebody's face into it?
It looked like
that was probably a $500 cake or an $800. Can you just shove somebody's face into it?
Well, you know the cakes that we buy for like graduation and our August birthday parties, or like that my friend Yvonne always gets me for my birthday party. Those, she pays at least $130, whatever, graduation. I mean, you're paying hundreds of dollars depending on the size of the cake. And this looked like a very nice cake. And anyway, that made me think of this. But I mean, used as not intended, right? No one intended to even dream as a baker that someone's going to shove.
And nobody thought these would get shot into people's faces.
Right.
But, so two different things would happen. Kids would stand over them and yank the cord. Also, that they would also take off into suspectable... I can't even say words now.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
They would fire off into random directions. And sometimes,
what in the world word were you trying to say?
So sometimes when you would pull the cord, they wouldn't go straight up, but they would...
Unexpected?
Yeah, and they would launch into Mama's face.
So
or
Mother's
something
saying
like
that her mom's cakes had toothpicks in them. I think that would be even harder because that toothpick would have gone all the way through your eye. Oh. Okay.
Well, for the Sky Dancers, the injuries reported range from blindness to painful lacerations to the face.
Somebody got blinded.
That required extensive stitches. Yes, blinded ones. One case of blinding because it went in their eye and.
Okay, well that's partially blinded, but okay.
Okay. But after it became clear that the dolls weren't safe, production was halted, and 9 million of the toys were recalled. 9 million had been sold and recalled.
Hey, you want to see what we're going to have on our merch store soon?
We're going to have a merch store?
Well, when we get popular enough, we're going to have ReddMetal merch when we're popular. Sorry. So I just have a hard time with that. Like, you're a fucking idiot if you lean over something like that. I don't know.
Okay, that's kind of mean to call a 4-year-old a fucking idiot, but like these are for little kids.
I don't think those should have been for 4-year-olds. They need to put an age on that.
I don't know if there was ages listed on them or not, but I'm saying regardless, people were buying them for their small children, and the kids would put them on there.
I'm sorry to anybody that has a 4-year-old. They're probably not a fucking idiot. They're probably
no, they might be, but I'm saying it's not fair.
They're probably bright and they know the whole alphabet.
That's probably true.
Forwards and backwards in case they get drunk when they're older and they need it to know that.
But that was a terrible toy. Terrible idea, I guess. It cut up and blinded over 100 people within the first few months. So
that kid looks happy about it, but okay.
Yeah, definitely happy.
Yeah, parents don't read the labels either. They don't. They buy their kids things that... I saw a thing on social media the other day where some kids went to a restaurant with their parents and they went to pick a beverage out of the beverage cooler and they had chosen alcoholic beverages. And parents didn't even realize it. You had people that would come into your store.
Well, a lot of people also just don't care.
No one's going to let their it was like 4 and 5-year-olds pick an alcoholic beverage.
No, but I'm saying, like, for instance, yesterday we were at Scarborough Fair. Yesterday we went and saw one of our favorite poets.
Mm-hmm. Arthur Greenleaf Holmes, who will be on Off-Broadway in the fall. So if you guys have ever been to Scarborough Fair and seen
or any Renaissance Fair.
Or any Renaissance Festival with Arthur Greenleaf Holmes, he's going to be on Off-Broadway. They actually picked him up.
Yeah.
Yay.
But he does a wildly inappropriate show. It's for 16, 18 plus.
I would not even say that age.
And it definitely says that on the show. And yet, a dad that really just wants to hear his work, shows up with his 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 11-year-old, and they're like, eh. And he looks right at them and says, you do know this show is going to be very vulgar. Okay. I mean, some parents just don't care.
All you did was make the poet and everyone else there very uncomfortable. Because we're there to enjoy it, and now we know there's a 7-year-old there, and it's uncomfortable. But, okay. So
and he is vulgar.
Yeah, he's vulgar. You should look him up.
Vulgar.
Arthur Greenleaf Holmes on Off-Broadway.
And very talented.
Very, very talented.
Shortly after Star Wars Episode 1 came out, every kid in the world wanted the Darth Maul double-bladed.
Yeah, because Darth Maul has the...
He had the one you held like that, and the two sides came out. This one wasn't a huge big deal, except for it did catch fire in their hands.
What? How?
The batteries overheated because of it was like poorly constructed. The batteries got too hot.
It looks on there like they're already on fire.
Yeah, that's the. But no, so they would legit just catch fire. Most of the times they were just getting too hot that the kid would be playing with it and it would get so hot he would drop it.
Too hot to handle.
There was a couple times that there was a couple reports that they had to go to the ER with actual burns on their hands.
Yeesh.
And there was a couple times where before they got too hot to drop, something would spark in them and the whole thing would just go into flames.
Drop it like it's hot. That's where that song came from.
Yeah, that is where that song came from.
Yeah,
right.
That is. They said, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
But I don't have a whole lot to say about this one other than it got really hot, the batteries overheated, and it caught fire in kids' hands.
And that damn kid probably let it cool off and tried it again. That's why his hands got burnt. He didn't just do it once. He was like, ah! And then he was like, oh, it feels okay now. I'll try it again.
I don't know. On every list I looked at and every, different thing while doing my research, almost every list, something showed up, which we all know about, but I didn't add it because I'm like, well, everybody knows about that one anyways.
Yeah, I do that a lot, too.
It was the,
I do that a lot.
Remember when those, hoverboards came out and they were catching on fire.
Yeah, and they were, but that was like the charging.
And there was even a video that I found that was a really cool video. I wanted to play it, but I didn't. Of a guy who had no idea it was going to catch fire. He just bought it. He just wanted to show it for the first time. Mm-hmm. And he charged it and he sat it out there and he got on it and the camera set up and he's sitting there trying to use it. And he thought he was doing something wrong. And all of a sudden it just went and just went up in flames. It was crazy. Wow. But yeah, I guess there's a few times that if something's
that's where that other song came from. Poorly, it's getting hot in here.
I see.
It's getting hot on this hoverboard.
Thank you for the Prime sub, Grim Reefer.
Thank you.
4 months.
Fourth month.
4 months already?
4th month, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe with Prime. It's free.
I don't have to tell you about the next one.
Well, why is it on here then?
Oh, why is it not on here actually? Oh, there it is.
Okay. Did you skip? Okay.
I must have skipped one.
Oh, so Kinder Chocolate Eggs.
So I will go back to this one.
I wanted to talk about
because
Kinder.
Obviously it's not in my notes, but I added it.
Do you remember about it?
Yeah. There are still dive sticks made today.
But they're wobbly.
Or they go in the water and lay flat, or most of them are kind of rope shaped with two where originally the dive sticks were straight sticks.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. See, Texas DJ Chris blamed Doc Brown for the hoverboard issue. Everybody was trying to get their flux capacitor. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
But when they originally started marketing these, and Target was one of the first stores that had them and was the first to actually discontinue them.
What were those?
They had a flat bottom, and the stick came up. Uh-huh. And when you threw them, they always turned that heavy end down and would go in.
Okay.
The problem was if these were thrown in short water and people dived in, they were getting punctured by them.
Well, you shouldn't be diving in short water. That's one
of
the rules.
Or not diving. Let's just say jumping. Let's say a little kid just decides to jump off the steps.
Oh, and it went up his boob.
Or up his foot or something.
Probably up his boob.
Like, they were actually getting punctured by these things. So, yes, dive sticks are not banned. They are still around today. But this particular style of dive sticks, which was very popular for a while, are not marketed anymore, and you can't find them anymore.
They'd be easier to pick up.
But, yeah, those aren't in my notes. So, I guess I forgot to add those. But dive sticks from 1999. Well, 1999 I put because that's actually the year that Target started the ban.
Man, why Target sell all these toys that are getting people hurt? And then this week in the news, people got into a fight over some sports cards, and Target pulled all their sports cards and Pokemon cards off their shelves.
Because of a fight?
Yeah, because there was a fight over them damn cards. Target's be starting some trouble.
Why, I wonder?
What?
They never have the good cards.
They must have found a good one. Huh. Mother wants to know what you did with them. What did you do with it? You dive in and pick them up.
Dive sticks. Yeah, you throw them in a pool, and then
the kids race to get them.
Kids jump in the water and they dive to find obstacles in the pool that they can pick up.
Yeah, get as many as they can. Yeah. Chris says he tried to grab them all at once.
That's
in one
most
breath.
Kids. You would throw like half a dozen, and then you would take a deep breath and dive down to the bottom of the pool.
Try to get them all.
And you would try to find them all and pick them all up.
If you have siblings,
we have some actually.
We do for when little kids. But throw them at the
ours
bottom
are floppy.
Throw them at the bottom of the pool. Maybe yours are floppy.
No, they're floppy.
Speak for yourself.
They look nowadays. Most of them just look like a rope, and they have two rubber ends. So when they land in the water, they still sit upright like this.
Yeah.
But they're it's actually just a rope.
Yeah.
But the water makes one's heavier, one circle's heavier than the other, so it drops down, and the other one just kind of floats up. So they look similar, but they're flimsy now.
Or they fight over, the siblings fight over, you like try to get more than the other person or something.
Yeah, you might throw like a dozen of them in, and then like 3 kids all jump in and see who gets the most.
Sorry, giving him a coaster for his beer.
And the thing is, I coastered everything, and I missed something.
Yeah, he missed the coaster. Sorry, I'm the coaster Nazi. I don't want this very nice desk.
So that was into my notes, so I forgot about that. But now we'll move on to what Dawn wanted to talk about.
Which doesn't make any sense. If they're banning all of this other stuff, because they're swallowing it, why wouldn't they have banned that before Kinder Eggs?
Well, Kinder Eggs were banned in '97,
and they just came back a few years ago.
But they were never banned technically.
You can get them without a toy, but nobody wanted them.
They were popular in Europe for quite some time before 1997. 1997 is when they started to ship them to the U.S. They only shipped them into the U.S. briefly, and the U.S. shipped them right back. In the U.S., they were never sold.
But you can get them illegally on the black market.
Now, they're still sold now.
They are. They came back.
But the toy's not inside.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I was told they were not inside.
They are. We just bought them. Oh, you know what? Don't listen to me because I get them from out of the country illegally.
Yeah, so now the U.S. version of the Kinder Egg comes in a little box.
I smuggle them
The
home.
toy is in the bottom of the box, and the hollow egg is on top.
I think you're right. The ones I smuggle into the country
because
are
the
not.
thing with the Kinder Egg, in case you're not familiar with Kinder Eggs, which most people are, is they have a treat. It's a chocolate
it's
egg.
It's a hollow chocolate egg.
It's hollow with a little toy inside.
Yeah.
And so that's a choking hazard in the United States. Kind of like why we can't have our damn king cake anymore.
Yeah, we can't have our baby and our king cake.
So we buy a king cake for Mardi Gras every year.
Hey Chris, I'll sneak some in for you if they don't melt. They usually melt, but I try. I always give it a try. When customs ask me if I have anything, I say no.
Why would I?
What would I bring back from another country illegally besides Tylenol with codeine?
Yeah. Or liquor or.
No, liquor's legal. I buy that duty free. I do not smuggle liquor. Do not listen to him. I do not smuggle liquor.
Right.
I pay for the
cocaine.
Liquor. No.
Heroin.
You could, but I don't bring any of those things.
What about that big old suitcase of heroin you had?
You're so dumb. That was Tylenol with codeine.
Okay.
that was a 500 count of Tylenol with codeine.
Well, Kinder Eggs, Kinder Joy.
The Joy aren't the good ones. The Joy don't have anything.
Well, that's the American ones, I think, is the Joy.
They don't have anything in it.
But regardless, the Kinder Eggs, we explained the Kinder Eggs. So for New Orleans, or for those of y'all not familiar with the New Orleans tradition, during Mardi Gras, you get the king cake. The king cake has a little bitty tiny baby toy, or toy baby in it.
It's a baby Jesus.
Yeah. I don't think it's a Jesus, but...
Yeah, it's a Jesus. It's for... Mardi Gras is part of the whole... It's a baby Jesus.
Okay, there's a little tiny baby in the king cake.
Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
Little tiny 8
little
ounce.
Tiny 8 ounce
baby Jesus.
With the tuxedo shirt on.
Yeah. Singing locals for Leonard Skinner.
Yeah. So,
Thank you, Chris. It's a baby Jesus.
The last 3 years now, at least, that we've bought our king cake, it still has a little tiny baby. But it's in a little package in the middle. It's no longer in the cake.
Yeah, we have to stick it in the cake ourselves, and then we know where it's at.
The tradition to the king cake is you cut it into pieces and you serve it. And if you don't know what a king cake is, it's just basically a pastry.
It's a freaking cinnamon roll.
It's a big round cinnamon roll with icing and colors all over it. Yeah. And you cut it up and everyone gets a piece.
But it's not just...
and whoever gets the baby in their piece is responsible for the Mardi Gras party the next year.
But it's not just it's not just for that. The king cake is actually a holiday and a tradition in other countries.
Yeah.
For Mardi Gras it is, but there are other countries that actually have like King Day, or I forget what they call it, but it's also in other countries too. But for us, the way we celebrate it, yeah, you put it, and now that it comes separate, one of us knows,
I try to hide it in the cake.
One of us knows where it's at.
I know where it's at.
Yeah.
But what does it matter? I literally buy the king cake every year.
Yeah.
So who gets the party? But nope. I still buy it. It don't matter. It's just a game to see who finds the king.
It's a family tradition.
So now I turn the cake upside down so no one can see, and I find a place and I poke it into the cake and I turn it back, and then I let someone else cut it all up, and then somebody will find the king cake.
It's not the same.
But that's the Kinder. That's the Kinder Egg. It's the little toy in there, and it's a choking hazard, and so we can't have no fun in the U.S.
Chris is right. They do make Mardi Gras ice cream.
Oh, and it is legit.
Ooh, yeah.
That king cake ice cream is so fucking good.
I was so scared for a minute that Bluebell was not going to come back after all that controversy.
I wasn't worried about that at all.
I was worried when it was on, like, I never even craved Bluebell until I thought I couldn't have it. Then I was like, I need Bluebell. I wanted all the flavors.
I need Bluebell and I need it now.
I need Bluebell and I want the flavors that they haven't released yet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's how you... I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know if it's just Texans because we love our Bluebell ice cream. But this is how you know you make a damn good product. If anyone else has contamination or salmonella or this and that, people legitimately boycott that product for the next 18 years.
We were like, we'll take our chances.
People were still trying to buy. They're like, but it's got E. coli. I don't remember what it was.
Listeria.
I don't remember what it was. So it has Listeria. I don't care. I'll take my chances. I need my Bluebell. Like, people weren't caring.
They're pulling it off the shelves. Don't put that away. I'll take it.
No, I'll take it. People weren't caring. Yeah. That's how much people wanted their Bluebell. They didn't care.
No.
That it's poisonous. Like, they were like, it could kill you. Yeah.
Bring it.
Just, come on.
Yeah.
I need a damn milkshake today. Like, they did not care. It was fucking crazy.
You take them up, butter pecan, bitch.
Yeah, it was crazy. This toy
Pogs.
never actually banned. And like because we've had more viewers than we did when I started, so I'm going to say my disclaimer again. This episode is terrible toys. It doesn't mean that I think they're terrible. It means someone somewhere thinks they're terrible. It also does not necessarily mean that they were banned or recalled, because a lot of these weren't. So these weren't banned or recalled, but they were banned in schools. Which I don't remember them being banned in schools, because I played with them in school, so it might have been after, because it says late 90s is when they were banned.
Yeah.
And I graduated in 93, so I graduated in the early 90s. But they were banned in school because they started becoming associated with gambling.
Yeah. Okay.
When they started being associated with gambling, schools banned them.
Yeah, but we were betting bubblegum. We weren't betting nothing legit.
I don't know what... I never... The only... I was trying to think, what were they gambling? Because technically, wasn't it a gambling game in a way? I guess it was.
No, because you won the other ones. You won
them, but that was a form of gambling, right? Because it was not skill based; it was luck based.
Yeah, but maybe you could be getting into a fight if somebody won your Bart Simpson Pog and you had to give it up, and you're like, "Bitch, I'm not."
So the thing with Pogs is there was literally, and I'm making up this number, but still literally 7 billion different Pogs.
Yeah.
Anything you could literally think of was printed on these little things, which were originally called milk caps. They came from Hawaii. It was a game that kids played in Hawaii originally.
See, Chris said it starts fights. I know it would. Hell
yeah.
But
they were called milk caps because there was a milk company in Hawaii where when you open the milk, the little thing inside, the little cardboard, it was that cap, and they would print designs on them. Yeah. And the kids would put them out, and they used, in Hawaii, they called them milk caps. That's what they called them. And then later they started becoming manufactured as Pogs. Yeah. But they had all these different logos, and it was kind of like Pokemon. Collect them all.
And then it became like
and it was a game. Culture. You would stack them. You would take all your Pogs and stack them. Then you had a big heavy Pog, and you would slam it, and whichever Pogs fell off, you got to keep from your opponent. But then they would just do it to you, and you would do it to them. So a lot of times you would take your Pogs you really liked the most and put them at the very bottom because you didn't want them to fall off.
Yeah, but that's going to start some fights for real.
Yeah.
For real. But yeah. That makes sense. Pogs are
awesome. So, yeah. Terrible toy, not in my opinion, because I had some really good Pog days in my growing up. But, hi, Curly. I had some really good Pog days in my growing up, so I'm not going to say this was terrible in my opinion. I love Pogs, but they were banned by schools in the late 90s for that reason. Yeah. But I'm old.
Chris had a brawl.
Not as old as her.
A brawl because of Pogs. Not as old as me.
She's older.
I'm older, but I'm old. But I look better. And as he said earlier, his is saggy. Or what did you say?
What's saggy?
Floppy. Oh, floppy. You said yours was floppy. Mine aren't.
What's floppy?
You said it.
Ain't nothing floppy on this. I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's in perpetuity.
Okay. Moving on.
Mother, I do think they did ban marbles and dice and you name it. They banned all that when we were in school. Anything that you could gamble with.
That's true. Yeah.
We couldn't.
We couldn't shoot marbles. We definitely couldn't shoot dice.
No.
We used to play a game called Quarters.
We used to play a game called Butts Up.
We used to play a game, but that wasn't a gambling game.
No, that wasn't a gambling game.
But Quarters
we'll talk about Butts Up another time.
Quarters was. We played a game called Quarters where you would take a quarter and you would bounce it off the floor onto a wall, and then it would come down and land. And your opponent would bounce one off the floor. Now, it had to touch the floor first, then it had to touch the wall, then it had to land. Yes. And then whoever's quarter was closest to the wall won the quarters. Yeah. So you would have like 8 people all do that, and then whoever's... So that was gambling. Straight up gambling. That's what that is. And that was banned from our school. Anytime somebody thought you were gambling at all, it was banned. But the slip and slide.
Is that your next one? You moving on?
I'm moving on. Slip and slide.
1961.
1961 slip and slide.
Oh, wow. That face plant.
So, with the slip and slide, and on my notes, I wrote paper notes, and I'm not going to look at my paper notes, so I'm just going to recite what I can from memory. The slip and slide never got banned. So, we're not talking about a banned toy. But the problem with slip and slide is when it first came out, it was marketed to anyone. Right? If you are a older teenager or an adult, you had a much higher risk of being injured. So they literally had to change the marketing on the slip and slide for kids only. Most marketing have to be changed, not suitable for kids.
Okay, but why?
I did find my notes.
Texas DJ Chris will answer your questions and comments.
What is the question?
If you subscribe, because his name's in yellow, that means he's not even subscribing.
No, I'll answer anybody's question.
I'm gonna give him a hard
I do not
time.
give a shit.
He wants to put baby oil on the slip and slides in liquor.
All right.
You need to.
You do you, Chris. You do you. You do you, buddy. The slip and slide's still around today and still never recalled, even though there's been a lot of petitions for recalls. It's never happened.
So Mother says the problem with the slip and slide is that you slip and you slide. Yeah, that's
Well, no, the problem with it is you slip and then never slide. And that's what causes the problems. Yeah.
That's what the baby oil's for.
So it was recommended as only a children's toy.
As opposed to what?
Any older kids or adults could be seriously hurt due to the weight
Okay.
of the person. So the heavier you are, the more likely you were to get hurt on a slip and slide.
Oh, so I'm
In the
getting
80s
hurt.
and 90s, one 13-year-old and several adults suffered neck injuries and paralysis while using it.
Paralysis?
Yes.
Man.
Permanent paralysis.
That's nuts.
While using slip and slide.
That's nuts.
In 93, a recall notice was sent out to warn users of its dangers. Since it's only recommended for children and other safety measures were taken, they left it on the market. So
yeah,
they
so
just
if you're fat,
they're like
ass
if
is
you're
going on
you're 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, you know how to read, you can read, it says don't use it. This is only intended for small children.
And if you do and you get hurt,
there is no recorded at least serious injuries of any children ever being hurt on slip and slide. Every injury is older teenagers or to adults. And it's because of the weight. It's because of when you're small, you don't weigh enough, and you'll just slide right down that
I know
bitch.
some big ass kids.
You'll just slide right down that bitch, no problem.
I know some big.
There's some big ass kids,
Some
but
big ass kids. They must not have been trying it.
they must not have been trying to slip and slide. But yeah, so slip and slide is still today. You can still buy it, but if you go buy one today, it has even more warnings today. It's got a warning list this big on the side of a slip and slide.
Nowadays, that makes you want to buy it.
We're gonna have a slip and slide at our next party.
No, we're not.
Oh,
it's not
we
for
are
adults.
now with baby oil and liquor.
No, no, not
Chris
until
can come.
not until DJ Chris subscribes to our podcast or at least hits like so that his name won't be yellow.
All right.
I don't even know what yellow means.
The next terrible toy.
Do you know what yellow means?
What yellow? No, the names just show up in random colors, so we know that's different people.
I'm just giving him shit for no reason.
Yeah, they're different.
Oh,
that's
okay.
so we know different people are talking.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
What you got?
This next terrible toy is a toy that is not terrible on its own.
Give me what you got.
But there was one version of the toy that was pretty terrible.
Give me what you got.
They still make it today. Dawn owned one.
I did?
You told me you did. And it's the Easy Bake Oven.
No.
No?
Did not. Drake owned one.
Oh, Drake owned one. Okay, you bought an Easy Bake
I
Oven.
did not buy it. My mom did. He asked for two things for his birthday. An Easy Bake Oven and Malibu Barbie.
Well, the Easy Bake Oven was around for quite some time. By the way, Curly just said something and Nightbot blocked it. I'm having a problem with that lately.
Nightbot
I need to look into it and see what's going on. I'm sorry that it does that, but if you type a lot of shit in caps...
Now. Yeah, if you type in caps, Nightbot...
For some reason, if you type a lot of shit in caps, it blocks you, and I haven't figured out how to fix that yet.
So sorry.
We're not
trying to be ugly.
It's
our
my
Nightbot.
bot moderator, and I have no control over that.
Our
bitch.
Nightbot broke.
Yeah.
She broke.
This is dumb.
Anyway, I did not have an Easy Bake Oven. However, I had a child that has an Easy Bake Oven. And the thing that I hated about this is misleading. Let me tell you something. This is misleading. The brownie
your shit don't look like this afterwards.
The brownie is like the size of a dime.
Look at that cake. I would eat the shit out that cake on that picture.
That cake is the size of a nickel.
Yeah.
That's a nickel-sized cake.
I'm like, that's some legit cake right there. But it's marketing. But what happened was Easy Bake Oven's been around for a long time. Not many problems, just your basic complaints. But in 2006, which is the date I have here, they received a flurry of complaints on a new release of an Easy Bake Oven that came out. That looks
like a space age one.
There was reports of 29 children getting their hands stuck in the oven door because they created this new oven that had a retractable front.
Okay.
That when you put something in, you couldn't pull out. The tray had to eject out. So people's fingers and hands were getting stuck in there.
Wait, what?
That was problem number one.
So it mechanically closed, and you couldn't.
Well, it wasn't mechanically. It was almost like a trap. Like, you stick your hand in, you can't come out.
So like when you do your clean mode on your real oven, you can't open it. You have to wait till the clean mode goes off and then it opens.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
It was more like a mouse trap. You know how a mouse trap, you can, like the live trap ones, how they open like this, but they won't open this way?
No, I never used a mouse trap.
Okay. Well, anyway, they were getting their hands and fingers stuck on the door. The problem with this was the model that they replaced their light bulb that heats everything with an actual heating element.
Oh, they did that? I thought it was always a light bulb.
No, they replaced it with an actual heating element.
Oh.
So there were several reports of serious burns.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So to address the problem, Hasbro replaced the 2006 model with another model that included a plastic grate that went over the door so that you couldn't get your fingers stuck. And they also offered a conversion kit for anyone who bought the previous one that they could get for free.
To just convert.
And they could convert it. Problem was, kids were still getting their fingers stuck in it. It didn't solve the problem.
Wouldn't you test your problem solver before you rolled it out?
Well, keep in mind, about 30 kids got their fingers stuck and burned in the first few months of it being released.
Metal. One child is too many.
That's true. But 30 still sounds like a small number.
It does.
However, the problem still
Well, I would need to know how many they sold. The problem still persisted, and then they received another 250 reports. 77 which concerned burns. 16 of those were second to third degree burns. But you know why? None of this shit would happen if them damn kids would wait for the cakes to cook instead of trying to open it. Get their fingers all stuck in it. They need to give it a minute.
That is too many kids. One kid's too many. But however, one 5-year-old girl
died.
Had to have part of her finger amputated because of the damage done, and that was enough for Hasbro to finally pull this version off the market, which they didn't want to do because of cost, because they had to recall a staggering 985,000. Almost 1 million had to be recalled.
Okay, so a little bit of comment here. They need to take a lesson from Tylenol. Tylenol lost millions pulling themselves off the shelf preemptively because of the poisoning. And you can look that up. That's what started modern day crisis management, is the Tylenol case. Hasbro should have pulled that shit way before somebody
should have.
That's shame on you, Hasbro. Shame on you. Now, that being said, as Curly said, parents need to pay attention. Like, I'm sorry, before I would let an Easy Bake Oven burn my kid, I'd slam the thing on the ground and get his finger out.
Yeah. Also, as far as parents paying attention,
this is with parental supervision.
No, 90% of what's on my list today would not be recalled if parents were paying the fuck attention. So, but anyway, they did recall 985,000 of those units.
Good on them. But...
So almost 1 million of those units were sold and had to be recalled. That's a lot.
That's what I said, Mother. It probably says use only with parental supervision.
I'm sure it says that, but it doesn't change the fact that the kids are still getting hurt, and so shit's going to happen.
And they couldn't wait to get their grubby hands on that dime-sized brownie.
Yeah. So, like I said, it wasn't the Easy Bake Oven in general. That's been a long-time staple toy. It was way before 06, and it's still today, but this one particular model that came out had massive problems, and it hurt a lot of kids. And so it was recalled. Again, not everything on this list was recalled, but this was one of them.
And it's not pink anymore, is it?
It's changed shapes and colors and sizes and everything so many times.
It's marketed for boys and girls.
That's true. For a long time, decades, this was ever only marketed to girls until maybe about 15 years ago. And they now have boys and girls on the box cooking together.
So good for you, Hasbro.
Good for you for getting with the times.
Yeah, good for you.
Now, the reason I put this next one on my list is because everywhere I looked for research on this was number 1, 2, or 3 on every single person's list.
Really?
Yeah. And it was the Snack Time Cabbage Patch Kid from 1995.
There was one called Snack Time?
There was one called Snack Time. It ate.
What did it eat?
Well,
food?
The Snack Time Kid was released by Mattel in 1996.
Sorry, I have white hair still.
It was just in time for Christmas season. Right before Christmas, this thing was released.
What does that say? Feed me what?
It says, feed me. My mouth really moves.
That's what I say. Feed me. My mouth really moves.
Well, the snack time.
Do they eat real food?
Well, no, but I guess it could, because it ate fingers off kids.
Shut
but we'll get to that in a moment.
Shut up. Okay, come on now.
So the idea was that children would be able to feed this dog pretend food. The kids could feed their doll a variety of plastic snacks that it came with.
Okay.
Fries, celery, carrot sticks.
Oh, so they gave it healthy choices.
Well, there was fries. There's a fry in her mouth now. But
they also provided healthy choices.
They did. It then could be removed from the inside of the doll and used again.
I'd be feeding that bitch real food.
So once it ate everything, you can pull it out.
I'd be giving it pudding.
There was one problem with this toy.
Cheerios.
One major problem with this toy.
The people were feeding it real food.
No, the major problem was the jaws was extremely powerful. It was a mechanical turning jaw that was extremely powerful. And the jaws would only stop chewing once the item finished going through. Your finger will never finish going through.
Right.
So it never stops. And it was breaking bones and fingers and stuff.
Chris was saying the kids could have tried to eat the food and choked on it, too.
I guess, but that's not why it was recalled.
How powerful would it have to be?
It was, I don't know, but according to everything I read, it was extremely powerful.
Wow.
But there was no off switch. The only way it would stop is when the food was finished.
Like a paper shredder.
So if a child happened to get their fingers or their hair, they'd struggle.
Ooh, that would hurt.
Well, that's the thing that actually got it recalled finally, was a girl did get her hair stuck in it.
Ripped out,
and it finally ripped a piece of her hair from the scalp. Her mother fought with it and could not get it off of her daughter. Well, it wouldn't stop chomping.
It just kept scissors out. Get the scissors out. Cut the hair.
So one parent she actually did cut it. It didn't rip it off her scalp, but.
Okay, get your story straight. Which was
one parent even had to cut her daughter's hair to free it from Snack Time Doll.
I was going to say...
In 1997, 2 years later, Mattel pulled the toy and offered a full refund to anyone who had purchased the toy.
Fake news. She did get the scissors.
No, there was... I did read that one person, it did actually pull the hair from the scalp.
I'm sorry. If you're a parent, you need to think faster than that. You can't just let your kids...
Well, the smart parent did. She cut it free.
Yeah.
But,
we were probably related.
But 2 years later, they did recall it. And they offered a full refund to anyone that had...
Did it really eat fingers off? Was that not...
No, it didn't eat them off.
That was fake news, too.
No. It would break fingernails and it would actually break fingers. Like break bones and fingers. If your child was small enough and they got the finger, it would break the bones.
I thought it was going to be something like they were going to give it real food. Because when my kids were little, Carter had this like a alligator toy for the bathtub. And... So the bathroom was smelling so bad, so bad, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And you have the hanging things to let your kids' toys drain and everything, and the smell was kind of coming from there. So I thought, some of the toys would get water and stuff in them. So I'm like, we got to throw all this shit out. There's something going on. And he had fed food to the alligator, and inside the alligator you could see all the food it had
and it all molded and rotted and got nasty.
It had molded and rotted. It was full of moldy, rotted food, and he was taking a bath with it so I thought maybe the Cabbage Patch Kid got real food and it got all gross in the stomach, and that's why they had to get rid of it.
Well, the next because it was real, but I could imagine that being, I wouldn't see recalled for that reason, but I could see some kids probably put some real shit in there.
I guess that's not really a recall reason. That's your own.
Yeah, that's your own fault. Like the alligator didn't get recalled because Drake stuffed it full of food,
That was Carter, but yeah.
Oh, Carter.
Drake had the Easy Bake Oven.
Yeah. So the next few on the list are for science.
Oh, for science.
For science. We'll start with the CSI fingerprint examination kit from 2007. Cool. Very cool. I would buy this for my kid. Not knowing what I know now.
What? But it's just going to be ink and a paper.
Well... The problem with the fingerprinting kit was it was a CBS licensed CSI fingerprinting examination kit, but the powder contained 5% asbestos.
What year was this?
In 2007.
Were they just reusing all the oldest...
Several decades after we already know about the asbestos. So why would there be asbestos in there? I don't know.
That's weird.
But, and it was tremolite asbestos, which is the most lethal form of asbestos.
That's crazy.
It was found in the toy's fingerprinting dust. Fortunately, no children or parents were harmed at the time because of the swift action of the ADAO. You know what the ADAO is?
Okay, hold on. I'm going to guess.
Oh, I forgot to write it. Anyways, it's the...
Hold on.
Okay.
American?
No, already.
Association?
That's the O.
Association was with an A.
Oh, that's the A.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Association of...
No, I don't think that's the A either.
You don't even know what it is, so why am I guessing?
ADAO meant the Asbestos Disease Administration Office or something like that. So it's an organization just for asbestos.
Making sure that...
So it was tested, and they found the traces of the asbestos
Curly
in there.
Lee had this kit.
Oh, are you serious?
You might need to file a class action lawsuit.
Well, according to this, the kit was pulled in Oh no, that's somebody else. Sorry, let me change back.
Okay.
I didn't put when it was pulled, so she may have very well had it. They did go out, but it said that no kids were reported with it because supposedly the second it went out, it got tested and they were all immediately recalled. So if a few were sold in the stores, they offered the recall notice to everybody.
Did they put out a new kit that doesn't have asbestos? Hopefully that's the one.
I didn't do that research.
Hopefully that's the one Curly got, was the one that didn't have the asbestos.
Yeah, they may have re-released it without the asbestos afterwards.
Okay.
I don't know. But asbestos, as fun as it is to play with, it's not as fun as the Atomic Energy Laboratory.
Did you have radium?
In 1950. Now, also, I want to point out...
Uranium?
That this is the Gilbert Atomic Energy Lab. The reason I'm making that statement is because I'm going to mention two other things made by Gilbert in this show.
This seems like something you could send away for with box tops.
Well, the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Laboratory was a set released by A.C. Gilbert Company in 1950s. The set creator, Alfred Gilbert, had invented it to hopefully get kids interested in energy and into a future in energy.
For science.
Yeah, for science. So they wanted to be able children to create chemical reactions and get inspired to pursue careers in science. It did get them doing chemical experiments. So he succeeded in that.
This is chemical? This isn't chemical, is it?
The kit had to be pulled in 1951 because it actually contained samples of radioactive element uranium.
I knew it.
It had 3 different forms of uranium actually in the kit.
Oh my god. Dude, I hope nobody drank this.
Thankfully, the kit didn't reach many children because it was commercially unsuccessful. And less than 5,000 kits were ever sold.
That's still more than one child.
That is. And I could not find any evidence.
Oh my god, I'd be having my sisters drink that shit.
I couldn't find any evidence of children being harmed, hurt. It got pulled relatively fast.
Because
not many were sold.
we didn't have social media back then for everybody to spread the news.
I couldn't find, but it was recalled after 1 year. It was not very successful, so they didn't sell many. But it actually had radioactive uranium, 3 different types in the kit.
Well, they were eating off of uranium glass anyway, so what was the difference? Back then they had uranium glass in their kitchen still.
Yeah, but it was a very small trace of uranium in that. But
it's enough to make the shit glow in a black light.
This was enough to maybe make bombs out of. Who knows? No idea. But since we're on...
They were teaching them to help fight the Cold War.
Yeah. Since we're on the topic of unsafe things in kids' toy, we couldn't possibly think of anything that Hannah Montana could have done, right?
Oh, Hannah Montana!
Like, that's pretty innocent. It's Disney. It's Hannah Montana. Game. It's before she was coming in like a wrecking ball. So, it's pretty innocent.
It's your turn to be in the spotlight.
Yes. So this was the Hannah Montana Pop Star card game.
Oh, that looks fun.
Again, you wouldn't think anything dangerous could possibly come
from Disney.
From this, right?
Our friends at Disney.
But after a whole host of toys were tested, it was discovered that the Hannah Montana game was pumped full of lead.
What?
Yes.
Wait, this is a card game.
It was pumped full of lead.
What would be the point of that?
See, Curly knows about all this shit. She remembers when this happened. I don't even have to tell you.
No way. Why would they pump a card game full of lead?
Well, it says here that the American Academy of Pediatrics recommend that no children toy contain over 40 parts per million of lead.
Yeah, that's what all the Chinese toys got in trouble for.
But lab tests revealed that this game had 70 times that level of lead.
In a card?
75 times that level. It was this, you're not allowed to have more than 40 parts per million of lead in a child's toy. This had 3 million parts per million. This had a lot of lead in it. Maybe it was in the ink that they used to print the cards. I don't know where it was. But as a result, over 6 million of these toys had to be recalled. Other toys that also, around this time, that also exceeded the recommended levels of lead included a Circo brand of shoes and the Go Diego Go backpack.
Oh.
So those also had to be recalled. But yeah. That was
came in like a wrecking ball.
That was another thing of this shit shouldn't be in this toy. 3 in a row.
That China.
This one's no longer for science, but I was like, well, we're on that topic. We might as well. We've talked about uranium. We've talked about asbestos. Let's talk about some lead.
Well, this should be your elements category, right?
Well, we could keep on that by. Let's move to Gilbert again.
Oh, you like Gilbert?
I like Gilbert because he made some really cool toys.
I think Gilbert's made up.
No, Gilbert had some really cool toys. I wish I was around in the 50s.
You might not still be around if you played with
I would have played with all of Gilbert's toys because he also made the caster kit.
A caster? Like what?
Like you would cast lead.
Okay.
So we're back to lead again.
Okay.
So...
Is it spelled with a K or a C? Because you have a C and they have a K.
Oh, maybe I spelled it wrong.
Okay. Caster kit.
Caster kit. It was the Caster Kit Junior. It was in 1931. Which his first
way before 50
was in 1950.
Yeah,
so
it's 20
this
years.
was in 1931. He came out with this kit.
So all those years later, he's still making shit that's getting recalled.
Mm-hmm.
Like he made this in 31 in the.
Oh yeah, he couldn't get it right.
But they still let him put shit out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Hello, Gilbert.
Thinking of, like nowadays it's video games. Back then it was the caster kit. If you wanted to build hand-eye coordination as a kid, right? Because there was nothing that would build hand-eye coordinate more than holding a small little mold in your hand
and pouring
while
lead.
pouring molten hot lead into that mold. Molten hot lead into this mold. Toxic lead at that. Toxic lead into a mold without just getting a bazillion degree burn, right? Like.
So Gilbert's like showing up at the patent office and they're like,
yeah, so this is his kit.
Here comes Gilbert. Oh, they have ingots. They have like the iron ingots.
So basically the kit, it had a little melting pot. It had the iron ingots and it had a furnace.
You're going to make yourself an iron horse that you can touch all over and get lead poisoning from.
And then it had little paints.
It had lead-based paint.
Probably lead-based paint if I had to guess, but it had lead-based paint.
Mother said if you don't want to get your hand burned, don't put the lead in your hand.
That's very true. Now, if you see him pouring it, you can see he did have a little way to put it in there.
Yeah, he's back a ways, so he's smart.
But nonetheless, this didn't last long. It was pulled from the shelves because there was reports of a couple kids that did get scolded, like third-degree burns.
Scolded or scalded?
Scalded. Third-degree burns.
Scolded?
And then scolded. Third-degree burns, like badly burned, like amputation-type burns.
I'm working at the patent office going, here's fucking Gilbert again. It's your turn to deal with
Well, the next time he showed up was in... I forgot to put the year. Dang it. I think this was in around 1942, 1943.
So right before the
about
uranium.
A decade load.
Right before the uranium. But after the lead.
Whoever thought that glass blowing should come in a little box for kids?
I've always thought that when I've seen it done, that looks like something a professional needs to deal with.
And it's hot. It is hot. So glass blowing is a pretty cool skill to have.
Yeah.
If you've learned how to do it in a safe environment. Okay. Glass blowing is also incredibly dangerous.
Can't you breathe in at the wrong time?
Yeah, it's involving as a person blowing into a wad of scorching hot molten glass.
Mother read glass bowling, which would also be dangerous.
Glass blowing. That would be. So this glass had to be exceedingly hot before it reached its softening point, which is around 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
How do you get it that hot? How are they getting it that hot?
Somehow Gilbert was really good at making shit get hot.
Is that like a torch?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god.
So Gilbert knew how to do it, and he was able to create a kit for kids that would get glass to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, Jesus. You know what that thing in the back is for? To wrap your wounds in.
Yeah, maybe.
That shit that's going on in the back of
So kids were lighting, were taking glass, getting it to softening, which was 1,000 degrees, and then literally putting their mouth on a straw that, if you see them, the straws are only this long. Christ. So now they're taking a straw, putting it to that 1,000-degree molten glass, and blowing in it and trying to make parts out of this.
This is nuts.
This was recalled in less than a year.
And we won't even let our kids climb trees nowadays. And somebody was letting their kids blow glass.
So Gilbert was a fun guy. He was one heck of an inventor. And I salute Gilbert.
Gilbert, we salute you.
He was awesome.
All right, what else you got?
We're going to stay old school. And we're going to talk about the Austin Magic Pistol from 1940.
That looks like a ray gun. Like a ray gun, like for an alien ray gun.
Yeah, well, that canister on the back.
It's a magic pistol?
It was a magic pistol. It came with magic crystals.
Oh, that's cool.
You would put a magic crystal in that back. You would screw that yellow lid off.
Uh-huh.
Put a magic crystal in there, spray a little water in there, and close it, and then shoot a ping pong shaped ball very far. That was the point.
Okay.
The magic crystals were made from the dangerous compound calcium carbide. It would explode when mixed with water, which was what was happening.
A small, tiny explosion.
Tiny explosion.
It's a chemistry experiment.
Using the force from the explosion, the gun would also propel this ball 70 or more feet.
A little chemistry
I like this gun. I would play with this gun all day long.
I'm good with that.
But it was recalled.
Why?
Because of the dangerous chemical element and chemical reaction that was happening in the gun.
You can do that in a science class, though.
And what they have done some research on this gun, and they say it was sold very briefly in the 1940s. This toy nowadays would actually be classified as a firearm. The power that this thing created would actually classify it as a firearm.
With a ping pong for the projectile?
It's still a firearm. I mean, you can shoot something else out of it, I don't know. Okay. But the chemical...
Tell me kids weren't trying to shoot other things out of it.
I don't know. I didn't read anything like that.
Like the potato gun.
Everything I could find on it was basically nowadays people that have gotten their hands on this gun and are playing with it in their backyard and showing it off.
Okay.
It is a very expensive, highly sought after collector's toy.
Cool. Yeah.
So
awesome. I think
a lot of people want it in their collections. You're going to pay a pretty penny for it if you can't find it.
I've never seen that in my life.
Me neither. Mm-mm. Well, until now.
Until now.
But that was the Austin
But
Magic
if I see one,
pistol.
I'm buying it.
If you can afford it.
Are they expensive?
I would imagine. I didn't look it up, but supposedly they have a very high price tag now. So this is the Giggle and Sing Poppy.
Whoa.
The reason I have two images there is to show you the bottom.
You might want to blur out that image there. This is what is our podcast rated?
So adults, I guess.
Mother says these kids had all the fun.
They did have all the fun. That's no lie. So this doll was designed to giggle.
Okay.
And this I learned later. It was learned to giggle when put into the sitting position, which is why it has that button on its butt.
Okay.
That's
not its butt.
Well, that's the taint.
Okay.
That's the taint. Yeah, taint-ish.
Too far forward.
Okay.
Anyway.
I wasn't trying to go there with it, but
okay. You're the one that put it up there. I'm taking your role this time.
But some parents complain that the activation button is inappropriately placed. Under the doll's skirt.
Yeah.
Now, when you squeeze her, she sings.
Okay.
And this was a recent thing. This was from 2020.
You squeeze her body?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was from 2020. This was when that new Poppy, or that new doll, that Troll movie released.
Okay, yeah.
That Troll pop movie or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So the problem was when you press that is when you got the giggling.
Okay.
And it sounded... I watched the video and it sounded kind of not so innocent giggling. It was very peculiar giggling. So basically, if you put your finger up her skirt, she would give this funny little sensuous giggle.
Okay.
So parents were very outraged about this.
Okay.
I think it was Hasbro.
I'm sure kids didn't think anything of it because they're kids.
Well, there was even an online petition that was by a senator that got sent out that said, that this is conditioning our children to think pedophilia is okay.
I hope I don't. Wow, they took that far.
The people, I thought it was Hasbro, but I forget who it was. I didn't put it in my notes. The people who made it explained then the reason the button's there, because the first video that this went viral was, look at this cute little doll. I do this. However, my husband was playing with it and he noticed a button on the crotch, and when you push it, she makes these noises. Well, then later it was discovered, because the thing is, they did a very poor job at marketing. They didn't mention anywhere on the box about the button at the bottom.
Oh, they didn't say if you set it?
Correct. It never said that. But it was intended to, when you sat her down, she giggled.
Got it.
But it never mentioned that ever anywhere. So therefore, it was like, there's a mystery button on the bottom that I can push and she giggles.
Did they pull it?
It got pulled. It did get re-released without the button down there. So and now she giggles or sings when you squeeze her tummy.
Okay. So
that was the Giggle and Sing Poppy doll.
Okay.
That was from the World Tour, they called it. That was the movie. The Trolls World Tour or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not good with all those. Since we don't have children that age, I'm not...
Starting at this point, if it's not obvious yet, this is where we're getting into the naughtier toys. The unintentional naughtier toys. Okay?
Yeah, at an hour and a half in, we're going to get naughty?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Elmo Knows Your Name.
Elmo Knows Your Name!
So, this all started with a 2-year-old boy named James in Florida. And there's only one case of this I could find, but nonetheless, it's fun.
So, it's a bad toy because of this one case?
Yeah, one case, it was a malfunction doll. They wanted them to return it. I think they did. They returned the doll and got a new one so they can investigate why this doll did that. But Know Your Name Elmo would plug in, you would hook it to your Wi-Fi.
How soon was this?
This was in 08.
That's a long time ago. I don't remember having Wi-Fi in 08.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
But you would hook it to your home internet somehow.
I did not have Wi-Fi in 08.
And it would learn by listening, and it would learn your name. So it would say your name. You would say, your kid's name is James or whatever. This kid's name is
I don't
James.
even let Alexa do that shit. Why would I let Elmo?
And then via conversation, it would pick up on stuff and learn things from you so that it could try to communicate with you.
Oh, fuck that shit. No. That's not coming in my house.
Well, the video, and they showed the video, basically, James had a close encounter with the Know Your Name Elmo doll because it kept uttering the phrase, kill James.
Shut the hell up.
Dead serious. I even saw the video, and I meant to put it on here and I forgot it. But
so, kill James, kill James,
it's almost like it was telling him to kill. Kill James. Kill. And it was legit saying it.
Instead of just randomly saying, kill James.
Oh,
that's weird.
What happened, doll, it connected to the computer to learn certain phrases and names. Recently had ran out of batteries. The mom popped the battery out, put a new battery in, and that's when it started saying kill James.
Okay, well, 2-year-olds are ill-equipped to commit murder, so he's probably not going to be successful.
He's probably not too, but it's still a creepy little toy.
It's probably not going to be successful.
It's still a creepy little toy.
That is weird.
Yeah.
So when she put the new battery in, why would it do that?
I don't know. That's why the company wanted them to send it back in. They needed to figure out what was going on with this doll.
Them people fucking made it say that in there. They're like, let's have. Remember how when I got the remote for our TV that you could look up anything you want by voice, and then what I did, that's what they did, and I just started saying every bad word I could say. Think of the most vile.
You did that as a 45-year-old adult.
Yeah, and I was just
okay.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, if I was James's mom, I'd probably fuck around with Elmo. I would. I'd be like...
Well, I would, but...
Yeah. So, Elmo ain't broken. He just got crazy parents.
Yeah.
James got some crazy parents.
Well, somehow, Elmo wanted James to start killing.
Well, Elmo's parents
So this is our Chucky.
Yeah, Elmo's parents... I mean, James's parents are cray like us. That's what went on there.
All right, well, McDonald's...
Oh, that's the...
Released the Minions Happy Meal toys. And this was Caveman Minion.
All they do is just say weird...
Well,
they have their own language.
That's true. They have their own language.
Yeah.
McDonald's said that the noises made by the Minions is a unique language.
They actually wrote
Nothing more. They would not recall this. They would not... They said, you guys are crazy. It's not saying anything bad. They said, we are aware of a very small, because this is McDonald's talking, we're aware of a very small number of customers who have been in touch regarding this toy. We regret any confusion or offense to those who have misinterpreted sounds. The allegation that this toy is saying anything offensive or profane is simply not true.
But Minions have a documented... They wrote a whole language for them.
That's correct.
Like, there is a whole language for Minions.
That is correct.
Or are you going to play it?
Yeah, I figured I might as well.
So we can offend our watchers?
July 2015, Minion number 5.
The video's not... Is the video showing up?
Recalled for swearing.
Oh, they think he's saying what the fuck?
That's exactly. If you thought it, that's what everyone else is thinking. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? So, a lot of parents complained.
Did y'all hear what the fuck? I heard what the fuck right away.
Yeah, a lot of parents complained that that doll was saying what the fuck.
Your kids don't know what the fuck is unless you taught them.
And McDonald's stood the ground. They said it's its own language. It doesn't even speak a real language.
No, they speak Minionese.
They speak Minionese.
Yeah.
This is purely coincidence. They're not saying it's bad. No, we're not recalling this toy. Yeah. And they didn't. So they kept...
Good on them. Good on them, because there's too much complaining going on in this world.
But you knew I was going to bring this one up because I've talked about this one before, just to talk about it because it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
But the Harry Potter Nimbus 2000 broomstick.
Giving underage children's girls orgasms on the daily.
Yeah. So, this seemed like a good, fun little idea that came out.
The Harry Potter Vibrator 2000.
That's exactly what it was. So, kids would take this broom and they would put it in their crotch area to fly on it like Harry Potter.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That is what you're supposed to do.
Okay, just to be clear, that's what
he does. It's a flying broomstick.
He flies on
You're
the broom.
supposed to pretend you're flying on this broom.
It's not like the kid was doing anything nasty.
But for some reason, whatever reason, they decided to make this vibrate. And it didn't just vibrate, it vibrated vigorously.
To give it because you're supposed to be flying around on it.
And I forgot, even though I knew this was on my list, I forgot it was on my list. And I had some Amazon... reviews pulled up so I can read them to y'all, but I closed them because I forgot about it. But the reviews were phenomenal, and I wanted to read them, but I didn't. It was basically stuff like, I bought this toy for my 9-year-old girl, but her and her 14-year-old sister fight over it all day. I'm gonna have to buy a second one. This is the best toy I've ever bought. Like, it was just funny. People started making funny comments about it.
Oh, okay.
They were obviously being funny about it. They're like, oh. Like somebody named Dan is like, I bought one of these for my 14-year-old, but my wife won't ever. I keep finding my wife playing on it more than her.
Yeah.
So this is a great toy. Even my wife loves it. It was just funny comments, but yeah, kids were running around giving themselves orgasms with this broom because it vibrated vigorously between your legs. It was recalled shortly after it was put out, but then I've read reports where they sold them to a bunch of adult shops as novelties. Or maybe whoever got them as a bulk, but a bunch of adult sex toy shops started selling these as novelties in their shops.
Okay, good on you.
So,
whatever.
I guess that came out of it.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Do I have to go into the ET light finger?
Oh, this is so cool.
It is cool.
I never knew you could buy an ET light finger.
You did not know you could buy an ET dildo for your 8-year-old.
What? Shut the fuck up.
That's what this turned out to be.
No.
Yes.
No, come on.
It was recalled shortly after because of its shape.
It's a finger shape.
Yeah, kids are sticking them in orifices.
Why?
Because that's what kids do, I guess, with something that shape.
No. Kids don't stick random things in orifices. That's adults.
Okay. Adults may have been claiming kids were doing it. Nonetheless...
I never caught a kid sticking something like that in an orifice.
Nonetheless...
Maybe their ear. Yeah, you're right, Mother. I'm with you. I don't see a kid's... Kids don't do things like that.
Well, according to a lot of reports, it did. They did recall them.
Does it vibrate?
It does not vibrate. It does light up on the tip.
Maybe they were just trying to see if it would light up through their skin.
They did recall them and remarket it later.
This is sad. As the whole hand?
Yeah, with a light up finger.
That's dumb. I wanted just the finger.
I know you did. I know you did.
No, I didn't. That's not what I'm saying.
I know you did.
No, I did not. That's...
Now, the next one that I have is real fun because I have a video to show you as well, but it is the Rad Repeatin' Tarzan.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
This was from 1999.
The Rad
It was the King of the Jungle. His hand is getting quite the workout.
What?
So his hand is in this little shape like this for whatever reason. I guess so he can hold his mug or
so he
his
can
sword
hold his swords and stuff.
or whatever.
Yeah. I'm the Rad Repeatin' Tarzan.
The rapid repeating motion combined with his mighty roar seemed to imply only one thing.
Drop a beat and we can do a Rad rapping
But
Tarzan.
Mattel swore everyone else just had dirty minds.
What does he rap or does he just repeat?
Well, this one representative said kids have a much more innocent concept.
Yeah, that's
the
what
company
I just
did not recognize that the toy wouldn't do for a lot of repeat business. So they changed it. They did pull it back and change the packaging so his hand would not drop below his waist anymore.
Okay, listen. I'm with this lady that said that because your kids don't think like that. Kids do not think like that.
Yeah, that might be very true.
They just don't. Kids' minds don't go there. Kids' minds don't go there.
That might be very true.
No.
No.
Hold on. I'm going to play you this video, though, if I can get it to stop for a second.
No.
So here is Rad Repeatin' Tarzan.
But the guy's having his daughter tape it, so he's a perv.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Nonetheless, we got a good video out of it.
He's a perv.
If I can get it there.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, somebody should have probably noticed that before they marketed that. I agree that kids probably won't, but that's too much, man. That's too much.
So that was live repeating Tarzan.
That is parents, but not kids. I agree with you, but I don't know that I could have that at my house and keep a straight face. I'd be like, I can't let my kid play with that. Now he's playing the real Tarzan movie in the background for us all.
Yeah, let me fix that. I don't know why that happened.
This is our first try with live video.
That's true. How do I get that to go away?
Are you done with the internet?
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Keep going, because you're running over big time.
We're running over, but we're almost done, because we're going to get on to our next guy, who is Shapeshifter Punisher 2004.
I got a sneak peek of that.
So, this was Punisher from the Marvel Universe.
Is that what he looks like?
Well, he was a shapeshifter.
Did he shapeshift into a rocket penis?
Well, what happened was he would shapeshift into a handheld pistol.
Okay.
If you can see on his chest there's some little cuts down the chest. Mm-hmm. So that would pop open, that thing would come down, and then he would convert into a pistol, kind of like a transformer.
Okay.
But if all you did was pop that out, then he had one heck of a penis that shot missiles.
Nice. That's what every 12-year-old boy wishes they had.
Yeah. So
he'll punish you with his tool. Chris, you're cracking me up.
What?
I love reading.
He'll be
Chris's
punishing you with this tool.
He'll be punishing you with this tool. When are you going to co-host with us again, you crazy kid?
So, yeah, in full pistol mode, Frank Castle looks like one of the guns he carries around. But in his in-between stage, he just looks like some cosplay porno.
Wow.
So that's that.
So
the rest are kind of short because I know we're getting short on time. But this was
Nestle Simba Pride figures. Rafiki.
Simba Pride figures.
Simba's.
We're gonna talk
Simba's Pride. His whole pride.
Simba's Pride. Yes.
Simba's
Pride. For those of you who are not aware of this, I've never seen the Lion King movies.
Shut the fuck.
Never seen them, including her. I guess she didn't know. I seen the first one when it first came out, but I don't remember it that well.
Okay, so you have seen Lion King.
I seen the original Lion King.
Oh, you got to see Lion King 1.5.
Okay, but I don't remember it that well.
Or 2? Anyway.
So I don't remember any of the names, but this guy's name, I guess, is
Rafiki. He's the monkey.
And I guess Kiara is the cub that was born.
So Rafiki is the monkey.
Yeah. We're talking about that particular one holding that cub right there.
Rafiki is holding Simba, I thought, when Simba was born.
According to this, it's Korea.
I don't know. Maybe.
Carriera. This was in 94. Maybe it was a different movie. I don't know.
94 was when Simba was born. Anyway, okay.
Okay, well, anyways, the last video I'm going to show so that we don't have to do too many videos. But
we're getting good at trying to show live video, so...
No, we're not getting good at it at all.
We're learning. Yeah, 1.5. That's the one I like. 1.5 is the best. I agree.
Okay, so here's a video of that particular toy.
That already does not look good.
Hakuna Matata.
Oh, Lord.
What a wonderful
Lord, no. What is he supposed to be doing?
Ain't no passing parade.
Wait, that person's doing that on purpose. They could lift it up all the way.
I think that he's supposed to lift it over his head because that's probably what happened.
You gotta...
But it doesn't change the fact that that's what it does.
That's not good. Get you some Rafiki. Chris! I can't read Chris's comments anymore. Oh, Rafiki's a dirty bird.
So without me going into too much detail, because I'm not going to go into any at all, that's why that one was recalled.
Oh my gosh, Rafiki. I'll never look at you the same again.
The next thing that was recalled, which I did have a video of, but I lost it, so I'm not going to show it, was something that I actually owned. Well, I didn't own it, but I bought one for my child.
Well, if they were anything other than red, then they wouldn't be Poe.
Right. So the Talking Red Poe doll. And it's almost not worth explaining this without the video. But I remember having this video. I remember squeezing, or Garrett, my child, squeezing it. And it's saying something that I wasn't quite sure what it said. But it sounded to me like it was saying, faggy, faggy. Which I hate to say, because I don't like that word, but it sounded like it was saying that. There was thousands of reports that this doll was saying either faggy, faggy, or fatty, fatty.
Both are very
judgmental and very derogatory.
Right.
So either way, it would be bad. But
fatty,
as in F-A-T-T-Y.
like fatty,
twice,
2x4.
Or F-A-G-G-Y.
Or faggy, faggy.
Twice.
Which I've never heard said. I've never heard anybody use
correct
the word faggy. That's just a weird.
And it would also say something that sounded like bite my butt.
That's a good one. Bite my butt.
But when they did contact the manufacturers, they apologized for the mix-up. They did not recall the dolls. And they said that they blamed the mix-up on mishearing Cantonese.
Because the doll speaks Cantonese. Because
they speak Cantonese.
That's a show.
And the voice is a Cantonese woman saying faster, faster, and slower, slower.
Well, that
Cantonese.
might be just as bad.
That might be just as bad, except for the show. Like, that was kind of Poe's thing. He rode the bike really fast and stuff.
Faster. So, yeah, they were teaching. But they do speak, the Teletubbies speak Cantonese, so it's really hard to compare.
But they did later, they never recalled any, but when they produced them for their second, third, and fourth run, they did correct the questionable audio, so it didn't quite sound like...
So I'm reading your notes because you put the notes on the screen for everyone to see, so I can't.
No, they're not. They're just for me to see.
Okay, but I keep reading your notes, and it says Potty Mouth Poe. You should have put Potty Mouth Poe.
Well, no, because he wasn't actually. That wasn't his name.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah, he was Potty Mouth Poe.
Hey, but that's okay because what did you? So we're an LGBTQ plus alphabet soup friendly. But what did you find at the... That's what they call it, alphabet soup. Yeah. Anyway, so what did you find when we were camping? What did that person write in the bathroom?
Oh, somebody wrote in one of the stalls, gay is gay.
So profound.
Yeah, so profound. At our gay sister's bachelorette party.
We were like, okay, whatever. People have time for that.
Yeah. So here's a cool racing toy made by Cool Toys for Dollar General.
No, you don't buy nothing from Dollar General. What is that?
What does it look like?
A Nazi swastika.
Yeah, it's a swastika. For sure that's a swastika.
No, it's a 4-way track.
And when you took the plastic wrapper off the front, you had an exact mold of a swastika.
Oh, so you could make a lead mold.
You could make whatever. If you had
Gilbert's
casting kit. Yeah.
Or if you had those dots from the beginning, the aqua dots.
Yeah. So, yeah, I couldn't find much stuff about this. I couldn't find the date. I know that if you go to this company's website, they still make toys for Dollar General almost exclusively.
With
this particular toy is removed from their product line now.
Oh.
But Here is the company's
Yeah,
called Bowie.
Is that the right direction? Because when I looked at it at first, it didn't look...
No, that is a swastika direction.
It didn't look quite right to me.
No, they could have at least made it backwards, because if you made it backwards, it would have been that
Oh.
symbol for, like, was it peace or something?
Yeah, the Celtic, or I forget what.
No, that's the actual swastika right there.
Something looked off. I mean, it looks like a swastika, but something looks off on it to me.
Well, you're gonna love...
No, these parts don't look right. It's turned. It's not. I know what it is, Mother. It's not.
Well, you
turned,
need to
turn it at an angle.
You need to turn it slightly. I can't turn
You
on
can't
this.
do that.
You need to turn it.
Yeah,
about,
you need to turn it at an angle. That's why it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But something caught my eye too. I was like,
turn your head 45 degrees to the left and look at it.
Yeah, that's what it was. It looked wrong to me too until I put it at an angle. Okay, sorry.
Again, I'm not going to have a lot to say about these. These are just fun that I found, because obviously we got to wrap it up.
And despite the boots that our son wore to Scarborough Fair, we are not white supremacists. I don't know what he was doing with those boots.
Why can't I do that?
Okay, so put from current. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so that's Squeeze Popper Huggable.
What the fudge? That looks like it has a...
yeah, that's Gag Mouth Bear is what I like to call him. He's Gag Ball Bear.
Gag Ball Bear, yeah.
Why
did they have that thing?
It's a strap holding that gag ball in.
No, it's not. Because it shoots it out.
As of right now, this product is still for sale at Walmart.
Gag ball.
Or at least I looked online and I found it at Walmart.com.
Why didn't you get me one? No, I'm just joking. I don't want that.
I have nothing to say about this except for I thought it was hilarious.
Gag Ball Bear.
The next one.
Wait, what does it do though?
Oh, you squeeze its belly and it shoots a ball out.
I still think Gag Ball Bear's funny. I need
Gag Ball
I need
Bear.
Gag Ball Bear for my collection.
But it definitely looks like a bear with a gag ball in his mouth. So
it's just because they have those things on it. That's fun. Whoa, what is that?
That is the Play-Doh Sweet Shop Cake Mountain Playset piece. So you made a cake out of Play-Doh, and this piece was what you did the icing with. So you would fill this phallic-shaped...
I gotta stop reading Chris's comments.
This phallic-shaped toy first gained publicity in November, but a new wave of comments began appearing on the Play-Doh Facebook page post-Christmas, because this came out right before Christmas. So all these kids opened this up for Christmas. Afterwards, their Facebook page got blown up.
So build your own dildo maker.
Yeah.
I don't have a size reference, though, so...
The funny thing is, no, you would fill that full of Play-Doh, and you'd stick that purple piece in the end.
Yeah, and it would
and you would push it, and it would ejaculate. I mean, it would squirt Play-Doh icing out of the end so you could decorate your cakes with it.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
One, I don't know if I put it in here, but some people, they said that they had some consumer feedback about the extruder tool.
Oh, that's what they're calling it, the extruder.
Yeah. And the process for updating the Play-Doh products with a different tool.
Oh, they're in the process of.
Yeah. So supposedly they did
if you want
make new tools that you could send in a request and throw that one in the trash. They didn't even ask for it back. And they would send you the new piece.
Nobody wants a used Froster?
Yeah. I didn't put these comments, but like one mother even complained that it was veiny. One mom even complained that it was veiny.
That mother's got some time on her hands.
That is a penis.
Oh, wow, you're going to zoom in even.
Yeah. A penis-shaped frosting tool for your Play-Doh cake.
For your Sweet Shop Cake Mountain.
And like I said, you filled it, you punched it, and it didn't ejaculate. It squirted Play-Doh out of the end.
It was an extruder.
It was an extruder, yes.
I don't even know why, but that was just funny. There's nothing sexual about it.
It's funny as hell. That's the Batman water gun.
That's greatness.
It was obvious. It's obviously not sold anymore. This thing was made in the 1950s.
I love it.
It was never recalled.
Why would it be? It's great.
But it's a funny little toy to see and to find. It goes for big bucks nowadays if you could find one. In the day, this thing in 1960 when it came out, it was 39 cents. It's selling for hundreds of dollars now if you can find one.
That's awesome.
The funny thing you can't tell about this picture is you actually fill the water in his butthole. You can kind of see the plug there.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
there was a plug,
butt plug.
So he had a butt plug that you pulled out, and that's where you put the water in.
I'd love to see the instruction manual for this thing.
So again, 1960s, not a lot to say about it. I just thought these were funny. I wanted to stick them at the end.
Oh my God, Chris, stop talking on the chat. You're cracking me up. I can't think.
Chris is going to have something to say about this next one. There's no way Chris keeps his mouth shut now.
Oh,
but here is the Superman Snuggler's Kids Pillow.
What? Come on now. What?
Yes, and this is still sold today, but it does not have an open mouth anymore.
What was that for?
Why it would even have an open mouth in the first place is beyond me. I don't understand this.
What? No way.
No way, it's real. Even look at that picture. Like,
it says stuff. What are you stuffing in? It says it has an open mouth because you're stuffing it. What are you stuffing in it?
I guess your socks before you go to bed or something.
Your pajamas?
Your pajamas. Maybe you wake up, change your clothes, shove them in his mouth. I don't know. But,
That might be the most disturbing one.
They still sell them today, but it has a drawn-on mouth.
Stuff, hug, and play. He's stuffing something in it.
Yeah, all the boys were stuffing something in it. I guarantee you that.
In Superman's mouth.
Yeah, why not? Man of Steel.
Oh, gross.
I would have liked to have the Lois Lane model, but I mean, as a kid, you can't be too picky. If you got the Superman model, that's what you got. What you got is what you got.
Hey,
so.
there were kids that might have liked the Superman model better. Oh my God.
All right. Anyways, nothing to say about it. I don't have much to say about the Wolverine squeaky hammer either.
What? I don't get it.
The Wolverine squeaky hammer is made by Rhode Island Novelty.
I don't get it.
It's famous in the U.S. as primary maker of parade and carnival inflatable toys sold by street vendors.
Okay, but I don't understand.
That's because you don't see the part where you blow Wolverine up at yet. So this is the bottom of the hammer where you actually blow him up. So this was funny to me, so I wanted to add it.
You got us there.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to make the rest of these quick. We only got a couple left, but this is Growing Up Skipper. I told you Barbie would show back up.
I can't see what that is.
Okay. Growing Up Skipper. Growing Up Skipper was launched in 1964 as Barbie's kid sister.
Girl, you're a woman now.
Mattel decided that it was about time Skipper hit puberty like the rest of us.
Okay.
So, you would just rotate her left arm and voila, boobs.
What? Shut the hell up. I wish I could do that.
You would twist her arm into a circle and boobs would show up and she would grow an extra inch.
Oh, I wish I could do that.
So in 1975, Growing Up Skipper led to a lot of controversy in the media.
Why? They don't want people
for their
having
unintentional perverted new doll because boobies were popping out and I guess the brothers were getting excited about it.
Oh, come on now. This one's dumb. You can just
nonetheless, with just a flick of the wrist, girls would see the Skipper doll grow an inch taller and her stomach and develop breasts that popped out of her concave rubber chest.
Good for you, Skipper.
To reverse back to an A cup, you would just have to turn your arm backwards again, and you would be.
No, I'm never. I'm gonna keep moving my arm forward.
Not through there yet.
I'm keeping my forward.
Now, the next one doesn't have anything except for it's just basically she also had a best friend that was Ginger.
Oh, hey Ginger.
So there was a Growing Up Ginger doll as well. It was Skipper's best friend.
And Ginger got boobs too.
They both had about the same thing.
Did they get the same size, or was one a bet? Was one?
They were both pretty much identical.
Was one more endowed? Because you always have that one friend that gets the big ones, and you're like, when am I going to get those?
Yeah.
There's always one.
Well, you know what happens when the teenagers start getting boobies and they start going through puberty. It's not much longer before you have a pregnant teenager.
Oh, I did this on one of mine.
Did you?
Yeah, we did the pregnancy baby. Yeah, and people were making fun of it because it was, we had the baby.
So
yeah,
now she wasn't Barbie. Yeah. She was
Midge.
Like a cousin or something named Midge.
Who was grown, right?
Right. So it was the Happy Family pregnant Midge.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't grown. She was a teenager. And that's the problem that caused the controversy.
She was a teenager?
Yeah. So Barbie's pregnant pal, Midge, found her happy family. Life turned upside down when consumers sadly rejected the idea of a doll whose plastic tummy could be removed to reveal a plastic baby inside. It's a bad idea. It promotes teenage pregnancy. Why would an 8-year-old or 12-year-old girl get out of the baby doll? Like, what would they get out of that baby doll? Basically, is what coming.
No, this is one of the ones that I talked about too, but I didn't.
So as you can see, she came with a very pregnant baby, or belly, with maternity clothes, and when you remove the belly, it had this upside down baby in it that I guess you could remove
Remember
via mega C-section.
That's what we talked about when I did mine. We talked about that.
Did we talk about toys?
We talked about.
I have a short-term memory. You know this.
Yeah,
so.
we were asking how it was supposed to be born. Yeah.
Well, that's Happy Family, Pregnant Midge. Barbie is still in the.
Why didn't they just make her
in the news in 02 as well?
Why didn't they just make her a regular adult instead of a teenager? Anyway. Okay.
Well, because Barbie's never an adult, I guess. I don't know. But with all the controversy, you would think Mattel would never release something so embarrassingly bad again.
Chris, stop! He said that same year they came out with Deadbeat Ken.
Yeah.
That makes me sad because I was listening to the Lacey Peterson, the new Scott Peterson Dateline that came out. That dude that got accused of killing his pregnant wife. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to that today in the bathtub, and it was really pissing me off. And now made me think of that.
Well, like I was saying, with all the controversy, you would think Mattel would never release something so embarrassingly bad again. However, in 07, they came out with Growing Up Glam Doll, which was basically the 70s version. They figured, parents are probably over it. We'll try it all over again. But hey, it's the 21st century. Toy comes to do what they want. So here you're going to meet Growing Up Glam Doll by Mattel. She's just like Skipper, but sluttier.
Okay, so hold on a second.
Look, this is the slutty version of Skipper now. See that?
But don't body shame people for clothing choices. It might have been hot out. You don't know, and I'm not a fan of that.
It might have been.
But anyway.
But you can see where her boobs kind of poke out in the top one.
Okay, but because she don't have a parent that knows about training bras. But listen, I don't think it's such a bad idea to give a girl that's going to develop that because they feel they need.
I don't either. And like I said
they need
a long time ago when I made this list, it's not necessarily stuff I disagree with. It's just stuff consumers have complained about.
I'm just saying girls are going to grow boobs, and that's something that happens in their lifetime, and I don't think it's. I don't
find anything wrong with this at all.
Like,
I find nothing wrong with it.
Hey, get ready, because no one told me about it, and I just remember having to lay my head on the table at school to place Heads Up 7-Up, and there was one time where it hurt so fucking bad on my chest I couldn't lay my head down, and the teacher was like, "Get your head down," and I'm like, "It hurts." I didn't know it was happening, and they started to happen. So kids need.
I don't have any problem with it. Like I said, they were complaints by consumers somewhere. This doll never got recalled. So
we're okay.
Obviously Mattel stood behind themselves and said, we're good to go.
Does she grow nipples, or it's just like that? They just grow bigger?
No, they just pop out, and that's it.
All right.
We have two more very short ones.
Okay.
Oh, well, we have one more. Because obviously I missed the other picture. Okay. I'm going to tell you about the other one anyways. It was called Bibi Gloton, because it was in Spain. It translated to gluten baby.
Okay.
But basically, it was a very realistic, bizarre baby that breastfed.
We can post it on our Facebook page.
Okay, I'll post a picture on Facebook page.
We'll talk about it, but then you can post...
It would breastfeed.
Okay.
So the small child would also get a bib that had fake nipples on it. That were shaped like flowers.
So it could breastfeed its baby.
Yeah. So it had nipples that were shaped like flowers.
Okay.
The areolas were petals, and then it had a nipple in the middle.
Okay.
And you would
I
attach.
wish mine were like that.
You would. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
And you would attach the baby to it and let it breastfeed.
That's actually cool.
Yeah, it said that while some parents supported the company's intention...
it's not gluten baby, it's gluttonous baby.
Yeah, it translated to gluttonous baby.
Okay,
yes.
Big difference than gluten. Okay.
Oh yeah, I said gluten. I'm sorry, gluttonous baby.
I thought the baby was going to have celiac and die. I was like, what a terrible
It said
toy.
while some parents supported the company's intention to educate kids about breastfeeding, most were understandably a bit grossed out by the toy that allowed girls to mimic nursing before they were even old enough to know or understand it.
Okay.
Opponents say that the toy could even increase the risk of youth pregnancy. I don't think so, but that was written in the report.
They did have a lot of teenage...
It was recalled everywhere except for in Spain, where it is still for sale.
Well, they did have this whole baby fever that teens go through, where they just want to be a mom and they don't really understand what being a mom means. They were having that for a while, young, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, just wanting to get pregnant.
I remember hearing something about that when I was in high school, because there was a class that was like home ec or something when I was in high school, and one of the parts of the class was you had to learn to care for a baby, because they were preparing you for the future, how to change diapers, the crying, all that, and kids literally had to carry a baby around school with them. a fake baby.
I'm sure that.
But they said some kids, it made them want a baby, and they went out and got pregnant because they now wanted a baby.
It's not the same to be feeding your baby from flower petal nipples as it is to be woken up in the middle of the fucking night and have someone gnaw on your boob.
Yeah.
So, a little bit different.
But lastly is this terrorist Lego.
That's terrible.
It's not a Lego, but it looks identical to a Lego.
That's a Lego.
No, it's
Well,
made
then
by...
Lego needs to sue.
It's made by Brick Arms Military Fighters. They make their own products. They do fit and snap into Legos, but they're not licensed by Lego anyway whatsoever.
Wait, but when I was in business school, they told me that the Lego connection is patented.
I guess not. Because this company still makes things today.
Because we had a whole case on Legos, and they actually patented that connection.
Maybe because each little dot says the Lego word on it, and if you don't put it, then you're not patented anymore. I don't know. But most users wouldn't know the difference. But the small figures,
they're made to look just like a Lego man.
Yeah, the pieces are almost identical, same size, but the minifigures also cost about $15 each. Because they're made by a specialty company that makes custom Lego pieces.
Like I got the Statue of Liberty Lego at the Statue of Liberty for Xander, and
but that was probably a souvenir thing. So
are these, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, this is a custom company. It's a Lego fan who's made his own little custom company. It's called Brick Arms. They're still around today, but they made these figurines called Bandit, the Spy Bond, a Colonel Marine, and a WW2 German Army. But the one that brought controversy was this guy here, which was, they said it looks like he was glorifying Islamic terrorist. He literally has bombs around his neck. So, it never was banned, it never was recalled, but Lego did, because of the complaints about this, they did issue a statement in December of 2008 to dislocating themselves from the company, saying, this is not us, we don't make this stuff. They said the Legos group is committed to developing toys which enrich childhood and encourage imaginative and creative play, and does not endorse products that do not fit with this philosophy. So they couldn't do nothing about this, but they did say we don't endorse it, nor are we any part of this.
That's sad because people are going to assume that's Lego.
That's all of them.
You ended on a sad note. Never do that.
What was sad about it?
You gave us an Islamic terror as the wrap-up.
Oh. All right.
But you did so good.
I did so long, though. I went way longer than I wanted to.
I think you should go every other week.
That's a lot to ask of me.
I think you should.
That's a lot to ask of me.
We'll take a vote on our Facebook page. We'll take a vote on the Facebook page. We think Metal should do odd weeks and Red should do even weeks. And if there's a 5-week month, we can skip a week.
I don't know. Like I said, since this is my first time doing it myself, she normally does it.
You did great.
She does all the research, all the pictures, all of everything.
I didn't. You did everything.
I told y'all I would be all over the place. I also went over 2 hours, and I didn't want to do that. But I tried to do the same number of slides that you did.
I have a mathematical equation.
But I did the same number of slides.
What'd you do?
I don't remember.
2 minutes a slide plus 5 minutes for an intro.
No, I just took the number of slides you did on your last one. I just did that same many slides.
Oh, but I also...
But we went way longer somehow.
I also talked over you a lot because I was trying to be you.
Well, obviously, you see I don't talk over you that much then, since you're able to finish in over half an hour faster than me.
Hey, Metal, guess what we're doing next week?
Next week, we're doing interesting inventions.
Which I have no idea what that means, but I got a week to do it.
She came up with it last minute, so...
And I'm going to be out of town for 2 days, so that's going to be hard for me. I'm traveling. I'm back to traveling.
You're going to be in your hotel room bed, and you're going to be, like, researching...
I'm going to be busy.
Inventions.
Busy, but I will. I'll take my iPad.
Busy eating gourmet dinners, and I know how your trips go.
No, that's the... Despite what he's saying, that is not the kind of trip this is going to be. But now that we're all fully vaccinated, we have to get back out on the road. So I'm going to be gone a lot now. My travel schedule starts back up.
But you'll be here Sunday.
I will. I just won't have as much time to prepare.
It'll be a shorter episode.
I'm actually driving back all night Friday, so...
It'll be a shorter episode.
Maybe. We'll see what I find.
All right,
okay,
well...
Thank y'all for watching.
That's all we have for tonight.
Follow us on YouTube if you want to see all of our old, wonderful episodes. Actually, number 17 was just posted to YouTube today.
18.
No, 17. This was 18.
Next yeah. So 16 doesn't exist because we forgot to record.
It does. 16's on there. I think 15 isn't.
Okay, one of them don't exist because we forgot to hit record, which I did hit record this time.
And somebody said that we should try to record it off of Twitch before it cancels, so we should try to do that.
If I can figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not very technologically...
So you can watch all of our old episodes on YouTube, because after a while they do fall off of Twitch. You can follow us here to get notifications when we're going live, as well as subscribe if you
subscribe for free with your Prime.
Subscribe for free with your Prime. But even if you don't subscribe, follow us. So you know
follow us.
that
That helps us a lot. Also, just a shameless plug for myself, because I did have to make I made a separate Twitch channel to do my gaming on, which is called Barbecue is my name, and it's spelled BARBAHQUE. So barbecue, because technically that's how you say it. Nobody says barbecue.
I don't know.
Right? Nobody says barbecue. Everybody says barbecue.
I don't know.
So I spelled it like barbecue. So if you get time, search barbecue and give me a follow there. That way I can get affiliated over there as well. I need like 50 followers or something to do that. I think I met all the other criteria within a matter of 2 or 3 streams.
Yeah.
But I need to get enough followers that I can...
So we're not super active on our Instagram or on our Twitter. However, on our YouTube, you can watch all of our old shows, and you can join our Facebook page, ReddMetal CraZy Talk, and we'll talk about what was on the show today. Metal's going to post the one that he forgot, the
picture,
baby,
which is actually in the photo somewhere.
The glutton baby or whatever, the gluttonous
it.
baby. Or tell us about your weird, terrible toys. We'll put a link for you to share there, and then make suggestions for future podcasts. And we appreciate you watching.
Yep.
Bye.
All right. Good night. Thanks.